What is going on, hockey fans? My name is Neil Villapiano. I'm the host of the Devils State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, which covers all things New Jersey Devils. And joining me here this evening is none other than my friend Jerome from the WCV podcast, which covers the Chicago Blackhawks. Jerome, let's start right off the bat. How are you doing today, my friend?
I am doing a lot better because it is a new day. Wednesday is out of sight, out of mind. We can just forget about all that garbage that happened in Colorado and focus on the New Jersey Devils today.
Well, I mean, obviously for, myself speaking as a Devils fan, it's been great watching, obviously, hockey. We had a chance to watch some of the games on ESPN and TNT. But I'm just excited because tonight is the first game of the Devils season. Definitely an interesting opponent for the Devils to face in their home opener. I was kind of looking forward to seeing Marc-Andre Fleury play tonight, but the Blackhawks announced that it's Kevin Lankinen that's going to be in net for the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't think that's, and Jerome, I'm sure you could obviously say this better than I can, but I don't feel that this is much of a surprise considering how things happened for the Blackhawks and for Fleury on Wednesday.
No, I think that this is always kind of their game plan. I think Fleury's going to get most of the starts heading out throughout the season, but I think that they're going to be doing more of a 1A, 1B type of situation. The whole point of bringing Fleury into Chicago is to groom Lankinen to make him that top guy. It also kind of falls on the Hawks got Pittsburgh tomorrow, so they're going to let Fleury obviously play the Penguins, and I think that's just how it goes.
No, I think that's a good point. That's definitely something that we'll certainly keep our eye on when Chicago ends up playing Pittsburgh. But tonight they're focusing on the Devils. Devils having their home opener. I also want to say that this stream and everything here on the Hockey Podcast Network is sponsored by the lovely people at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use our promo code THPN when you sign up. And also, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment, and I'll show some of the comments in just a moment. And also subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the new exciting content that we have for you. Jerome, I don't know if you know this, but this is already the third live watch-along that I've done. I did Devils Rangers a couple weeks ago, preseason game, and then I ended up doing the Seattle Kraken against the Vegas Golden Knights on opening night, which for me was tough because it started at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
I commend you greatly for staying up late for that one. But what's even better is going solo in a preseason game, man. That's impressive.
Yeah, a lot of people said, I don't know how I had a voice after 3 hours of just talking myself. And I said, you do what you got to do. But we actually put out a question prior to the stream starting. Who do you guys have winning this game? Kevin Weeks says the Devils. So there we go. Mad Mike Sports also says the Devils. So we got a couple people already on the Devils bandwagon for this game. Jerome, obviously, I know you're going to be hoping that the Blackhawks have a better start and a better game overall tonight than against the Colorado Avalanche a couple days ago.
100%. And I think this is going to be a really interesting game because you kind of got two teams that have a completely new look this offseason, just completely changed everything. And what's really interesting to me too is Seth Jones and Dougie Hamilton like going into this offseason. We're like, okay, those are the top two guys. Where are they going kind of thing.
Right.
We get both this early on, and now we get to see who made the right choice.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I think that, it's funny how so many people are already crapping on the Blackhawks and Seth Jones for that contract after one game. And granted, he didn't look all that great, but again, it's a new team. He's still learning the system. He's still learning how to play with his new teammates, and you got to give him time. If Dougie Hamilton doesn't look that good tonight, nobody should be getting upset if he struggles early on because he's trying to build chemistry. He's got a brand new line mate in Ryan Graves, somebody he's never played with before. The Soda Pod, by the way, saying, let's go. Love these two podcast hosts. This should be fun. That's obviously one of our good friends, Isha, who's shouting us out here. So the Soda Pod covers the Minnesota Wild on the Hockey Podcast Network. Go like and subscribe to them. Also, if you're a big fan of beer, that's definitely the podcast for you. I would say. I don't know. What do you think, Jerome? You think that's like the number one beer podcast on the network as well?
100%. Yeah. That's where I go for all my recommendations. Come on.
Oh, exactly. So wherever I go, especially if I'm in the Minnesota area, I'm definitely listening to those boys. Josh Deming saying, drop a sub for these studs. Thank you, Josh. As always, he's one of the hosts of the Keeping Up with the Krakens podcast, and the Seattle Kraken got themselves their first victory last night, 4-3. That was a pretty good game. It was honestly a pretty good game.
Yeah. Here's a question too. I got kind of like, post game, the Nashville Predators tweeted out,
Yeah.
Here's a banner here's a new banner. And
Right.
gave up the first win to Seattle. It's not fun when they play into it. I like mocking the Nashville Predators for that. Now that they're into it, they're just taking that away from us. It's not fun.
Well, at least it kind of shows that they've been listening, that they clearly see that they're getting roasted on social media and they're not afraid. And the Nashville Predators, like whoever their social media admin is, he definitely is a young dude because he is very active with people. I mean, most people, if you tweet at the Nashville Predators, they will most likely respond to you. Same thing with the Devils. Especially if you attack the Devils, you say something negative, they're going to find a way to roast you. And I think that's what's great, that so many like young people are now involved in social media and getting involved, because I think it just adds another level to, talking about and getting involved in hockey Twitter, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Dylan Kaiser saying, look at that studio. Yeah, I mean, look, not obviously mine. Mine is very dull and whatever it is. But if you guys have watched this, look at Jerome's background. I mean, look at all of the Blackhawks, it's just all this stuff. And is that a Tony Amonte jersey right by you?
That is a signed Tony Amonte jersey.
Wow, the former Ranger.
What you can't see over here is I got a Kachina Jeremy Roenick game used jersey sign as well.
Nice.
And then speaking of Tony Amonte, years I've been searching for it. Finally found my black Tony Amonte alternate jersey. Oh man, I am so pumped, ready for this season.
I'm sure, man. And there's a lot of high expectations in Chicago, especially considering the fact that they went from saying we're going to rebuild to, oh no, we're just going to go get Marc-Andre Fleury. We're going to give all of our assets and sign a massive contract to Seth Jones. We're going to get rid of Zaitsev. We're going to basically now have a 1A, 1B goaltending tandem. And they get Johnathan Toews back, which I think is definitely a positive to not only Blackhawks fans, but to just hockey fans in general.
I think he's one of those guys that no matter what your opinion is on the Blackhawks, you have to respect Toews. I think he's one of the best to do it, and that I think the league knows it. And the fact that he was out for a year, and if you're like Chicago, if anybody's watching from Chicago, you heard all the rumors that were going around. There was a lot of crazy rumors going around, and certain former players spreading them too, which really irked me. But hearing what it would end up being, just in, the compromised immune system type of thing, that was the best case scenario. And just to see him back on the ice, and I hope they ease him in a little bit more. I don't want them, throwing him back to that 1C minutes right away. I mean, he is our 1C. Let's face it, he's the guy. But it's just amazing having him back.
And we'll definitely see if he can make a run at potentially being a candidate for Team Canada in the Olympics this year. I think that a lot of people think he has a decent shot, maybe not the best chance like he's had in years past, but I think he does have a shot. Let's get to some of the other comments. VI Sports Talk, boys, what up? What up, Ish? That's also Isha. Andrew H is a friend of mine, actually. What's up, guys? What's up, Andrew? Hope you're doing well, man. He also says, happy Devils opening night. Yes, we are one of the last teams to finally play. And what's hilarious about it is that after this game, we're off for several more days until Tuesday when we play the Kraken in just our second game of the year. And we get our first look at the Kraken. So that should be a lot of fun. VI Sports Talk, red or white wine? Oh, here we go with this again. All right. So for those of you that don't know, have not been on a stream yet, and also who haven't seen After Hours as well, I tend, instead of drinking beer like everybody else usually does, I drink wine. And it's not just any type of wine. It's the Villa Piano homemade wine that we make every year, other than obviously last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And no, we don't step on the grapes like everyone assumes that we do. We have a press that's well over 100 years old that we use. And we actually just finished up making the wine and everything last week. And now we'll just wait a couple of weeks, a couple months as well to let it settle and be ready to go. I actually have the 2019 red wine with me here today. So I will be drinking this throughout the game. I'll just, I'll do a pre-drink right now. Yeah. So there we go. That's really good. So yeah, if anybody, especially anybody at the Hockey Pod Network, if you guys need a bottle, let me know. And actually, Jerome, I was going to tell you off camera, but I'll tell you now. in a couple weeks, like starting November 4th, I'm actually going to be in Chicago for like a whole week.
Oh,
I'm actually going to be going to the Notre Dame game against Navy that day, that weekend. I'm going to go to the Blackhawks game against the Penguins. I believe they're playing that day. And also being a Brooklyn Nets fan, the Nets are in town against the Bulls on Tuesday. So I'm going to go check that out. I mean, hey, if you're potentially in the area, we should definitely try to meet up and maybe do an episode together.
100%. Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So yeah, I'll be in Chicago in a couple weeks. I'm actually going by train. Kind of a fun way for me to get there. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see some more questions. Andrew says, I say the Devils win tonight 4-3. Honestly, if the Devils just win in general, even if it's 1-0, I'm going to be satisfied. I mean, obviously Jerome would prefer that the Blackhawks find a way to win. But obviously for me, speaking for myself, a Devils win in general would be the best. The Sodapod says, Kirby Dach almost got killed in Wednesday's game. Yeah, he really almost died. Is he alive? Jerome, I want to give you the floor to kind of talk about that because that hit by Landeskog, and by the way, I think he was suspended 2 games. Or
2 games.
2 games for that, which I feel like it should have been more. I would say 3 at the least. What was your reaction, like seeing that hit and seeing everything that transpired?
My first reaction was, is Doc okay? Like, this is a kid that has not been able to catch his break. He's been injured and, shortened season and all that kind of stuff. So he really hasn't had a chance to, really show what he has as a player. So that was my first reaction. I was like, oh God, I hope he's okay. Hope he can, come out and, keep playing. The initial hit, listen, it was bad. It wasn't good. And I tried looking at it like unbiased as possible. And I personally do think he should have got more than 2. I'm glad he got something. I think that it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the league. And I really hope the player safety, uses that as like, their bar, which they already ruined that with the Darren Larkin situation, which I don't know that. But anyway, it was dirty. There was no need to do it. It was, it was in a point where like they didn't even be throwing hits like that. But it is what it is. He's okay. He's in the lineup tonight. He got 2 games, and let's be. I thought he was going to get fined only. To be honest, that's just the way it kind of goes with the superstars, kind of in the NHL. They kind of give a little bit more leeway to those guys.
Yeah, they certainly do, and obviously, on a more funny side, Kirby Dach is on my fantasy team, so I'm really hoping that he's okay. And so is Patrick Kane. So I do have some Blackhawks on this team. So anytime they play anyone else but the Devils, they can do whatever they want. But I mean, if they score and the Devils still win, I win I win regardless. But yeah, Kirby Dach, I'm just glad that he's okay. That was a pretty big hit. I did actually have a chance to watch that game, and that was just a tough game overall for Fleury. I think Fleury's still learning how to play in front of this defense. It's a little bit different than what he was accustomed to in Vegas, but I still think it's solid. I do think, and I don't know, Jerome, if you'd be able to more speak on this, but I would say that the Blackhawks are going to miss Adam Boqvist.
Yes and no. He still kind of really hasn't had that chance to develop into that top guy that they envisioned when they drafted him. The issue with the Blackhawks defense was they were handicapped, and it's going to sound crazy saying this. They were handicapped by Duncan Keith for so long. We had Duncan Keith on the back end. He was our safety net. No matter what situation, something goes wrong, Duncan, get out there.
Right.
This situation, Duncan, go out there. We never got a chance to develop our other guys and let them really take a top 4 pair role and just run.
Right.
Now that Duncan's gone and we don't have that safety net, it's going to be a little bit of time to find out who's going to be able to be the guy that they can lean on. Seth Jones is probably going to be that guy. He was playing 26 plus minutes, with Columbus, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of the same numbers that, Keith was doing. But it's just, like you said, this defense for Fleury, Vegas is a powerhouse. They still are a powerhouse. They're one of the most complete teams in the league. So going from a team that has played together, they're complete, they know what they're doing, and then put him on a team that's essentially an all new look defensive core. They're still trying to figure out how to play with each other and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of growing pains, and everybody that was freaking out about the Hawks on Wednesday, this is what was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. We got dealt one of the top cup contending teams in the league right off the bat. They're hungry. They want to prove that they deserve to be considered the top. They had an early exit last year in the playoffs, so they had a chip on their shoulder.
Right.
That's exactly what we saw the first period, and it was scary.
Mhm.
It was scary. It was ugly, and they kind of calmed down a little bit as the season
And
was
this,
going.
and this is why Isha's saying this. Blackhawks are in the hardest division in the NHL. They could be fourth in division or second to last. Yeah, I mean that's a weird division in general. I said in my NHL preview like last week, I said though that the Blackhawks were going to make the playoffs. I think talent-wise, they are capable of doing it. I think chemistry is going to be an important thing with all of the new pieces that they have and, the talent that they've been able to add. I think you got to give it time. And I think with 82 games and everything like that, I think it will mesh all together. Yeah. So if you see early growing pains, that's just because they're still building chemistry and kind of moving from there.
It's a different situation. Like last season was a sprint. You had 56 games. You had to start hot. Now, you don't want to lose a lot of games in a row early on, but you can afford to sacrifice a game here and there. And Jeremy's okay. I gotta put that last comment up on the screen. I want
from Ish. Jerome hates the Wild. Look at his prediction video. Oh yeah, no, he did. Yes, Jerome, which some of you have seen several times because he's put out several videos on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Yeah, he wasn't very kind to the Minnesota Wild.
It's not that I'm not kind of them. They're one of those teams that I just didn't see that they did enough to warrant that them being like the top three that everybody, like a lot of people are putting them. Like, I think they're a great team. I just don't understand why everybody thinks that they're so high when I think they lost more than they added. Mm-hmm. And you got a whole 82 game now. You're not getting what you got from Talbot last year. That's just not going to happen.
Fair enough.
Kaprizov, who was a rookie, got paid great a rookie season. I would love to see what he's going to do in a full season against the entire league. Mm-hmm. He played in a really bad division last year and took advantage of that. And that's my thing. I still think I'd rather see Minnesota in the playoffs than St. Louis. Mm-hmm. I hate the Blues. I do not want the Blues anywhere near the playoffs. But they got to do something. I don't know. It was a tough division to predict. Like they said.
You're absolutely right.
Six. It's tough.
100%. Just to let you guys know, it's a little bit after 7:00. Puck drop's not going to be right at 7:05 like it usually is because the Devils are doing team introductions. Also, Jerome, and actually just before we talk about this, because it's very important, just want to see some of the other comments. He's saying Black alternate is one of the best jerseys of all time behind the Prince Albert Raiders Isha jersey. Yeah. In the last stream that I did, we were talking about different jerseys that we like, and Isha banged on the table several times. It said the Prince Albert Raiders jersey, which is okay. All right. Isha, it's solid. Not one of the best I've ever seen, but it's solid as there. But yes, the black one that Jerome is wearing is definitely a solid one. The Soda Pod saying, why do you assume I was Isha? Okay, so now I know who it is. It's actually State of Hoppy, or as he puts himself on Twitter as State of Rossi, because he is the biggest Marco Rossi fan, I think, on the planet at this point. He's one of the co-hosts of the Soda Pod. Go give him a follow on Twitter as well. Joe Cromwell saying, dude, I can't stand this CM Punk crap. I have no idea what did I miss something?
It's on the Chicago stream. I mean, he's obviously a big Chicago fan.
He lied. So he lied to the Devils clearly because he got caught wearing a Devils jersey and being like all about it. So I'm like, I guess he's just a complete front runner. Or
so they did like a pre-tape thing that I think they're playing before like all the games now. So I think that's what he's referring to.
Okay. The Devils are right now, they're introducing their players. Mackenzie Blackwood is out, still dealing with a heel injury, heel surgery that he got this year. I think, Damon Severson, Ty Smith as well are also out of this game. So the Devils are somewhat depleted going into this one, but they still have a lot of their main guys. All of the new guys, Dougie Hamilton, Tomas Tatar, Ryan Graves, Jonathan Bernier, those four, the big free agent signings that happened here with obviously not Ryan Graves since he was acquired in a trade, are all going to be playing tonight. New guys like Jimmy Vesey, and obviously the biggest news going into this game and into the season is Dawson Mercer coming out of training camp in his rookie year and making the team, making it very hard for Lindy Ruff to kind of decide to, send him down to Utica. And in a surprise, he ended up sending down Alexander Holtz, our other top prospect. But hopefully Holtz will continue to flourish down in Utica and then come up back here. But right now, the Devils, like I said, are introducing their players. So that's obviously fun. And also, Andrew H saying, Neil, what do you think of the new Devils PA announcer, Joel Talentino? Okay, so I don't know, Jerome, if you know about this, but over the past couple months, the Devils decided to have a contest to see who would become the new PA announcer for the Devils, as Kevin Clark decided to step down as the PA announcer. I actually also applied for it. Did not end up being one of the finalists, but I gave it the best shot that I could. I'll speak to Isha if he wants me to share that video for everybody so they could all get a laugh out of it. I'm sure people would love to see it. But yeah, no, we got down to the final three guys. They did some preseason games, and it ended up being Joe, as Andrew pointed out, Joe Talentino, who's now the new PA announcer for the Devils, making his debut tonight. Obviously, I can't hear it because I have to mute this, so I'm sure he's doing a great job. But that was ended up, for the most part, being voted on by the fans. So he is the fans' choice, I guess you could say. Joe Cromwell saying, please, God, it can't be before every game. Again, talking about
sorry,
the
Joe, I can't confirm that, but chances are he's going to be around a lot.
And then Pablo Ramos saying, hi, what's up, Pablo? How are you doing? Well, he says, who do you have, Devils or Blackhawks? Well, obviously for me, I got the Devils winning 4-3. That's actually my prediction. Jerome, what about you?
I'm going to take Hawks 3-2 overtime.
3-2 overtime. Well, hopefully the Devils don't have a 2-goal lead and blow it and lose in overtime, which I've seen enough of that. And I was saying before in several podcast episodes that the only way you're going to know that the Devils are a different team is that they have a 3-goal lead and they don't blow it. If they have a 3-goal lead and they don't blow it, that's when you know things have changed for the better. That's what we're hoping for. Andrew is hearing. I'm hearing him. He's no Kevin Clark, but he's doing very well so far. No, that's good. That's good. He's talking about Talentino. Yeah, I mean, we're all obviously hoping that he does well and everybody really enjoys him. Ramos also saying, I got Devils 4-3. Okay, so we have three guys that have said 4-3. And I mean, I'm hoping for a high-scoring game, just kind of kick off the season and kind of go from there. The Blackhawks and Devils have now both taken the ice. So we are just basically moments away from the start of this one. It is a sold-out crowd at the Prudential Center. The goaltending matchup is Jonathan Bernier for the Devils, and as I mentioned before, Kevin Lankinen in net for the Blackhawks. Jerome, for Devils fans, what is the scouting report on Kevin Lankinen?
Oh, man, he's the real deal. He is a guy.
He played well last year in his rookie year. Yeah. He was phenomenal.
He is somebody. So when we picked him up, it was just after he helped Finland win the World Championship, and from that moment, I was like, "Oh my, this is the guy. This is the guy."
Mm-hmm.
He got thrown into the fire last season with that weird situation where they were saying, "Okay, Delia, Subban, and Lankinen, go for it,"
right.
And he pulled away with it, and I'm glad he did. He is, he's a big goalie. He takes up a lot of space. He's very agile. He can make those saves that when he looks like he's out to dry. He can just come out of nowhere. He's he's got a lot of similarities to Marc-Andre, which it makes it even better that now we have him in here to kind of,
right,
through him kind of thing. But
right.
He still has, he's still young. You're still going to have some issues with him, but I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. And I really cannot wait to see where this kid goes.
I have him on my fantasy team, so in a really sad way, if he could just give up maybe like 2 goals and the Hawks lose, I guess that's okay. But I'm torn. I'm torn because, I mean, obviously I'm going to want the Devils to win and want them to score 100 goals, but is it worth it? At what cost? My fantasy team probably taking an L in week 1.
This is what happens when my fantasy team goalie plays the Hawks. I'm like, okay, let's just go 0-0 overtime and we'll get the shootout win. So I get the shutout and all that kind of stuff, and then the Hawks.
Right. It's the price. It's the price you have to pay to decide to play fantasy hockey. Andrew's saying more scoring or less, just get the W. Yeah, that's what I said. If it ends up being a 1-0 win for the Devils, you'll take that. I mean, you'll take 2-1. It it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. So right now they're finishing up the national anthem. Our wonderful anthem singer Arlette is doing her thing. She's phenomenal. In case most Devils fans know her, she's obviously a big Devils fan, part of the community. She's absolutely lovely. She always loves talking to people about the Devils and talking about her singing career. She's a phenomenal singer, by the way, as well. Not just with national anthem, but in general. But Jerome, just before this game starts, we saw in pregame warmups that the Devils were wearing all number 10s that said Broadway on the back. And some people were asking me, Neil, what is the reasoning behind that? And they ended up telling us that it's to honor Jimmy Hayes, who unfortunately a couple months ago passed away suddenly. We still are not sure exactly why it happened, but unfortunately it was a tragic thing. He also was a former Blackhawk as well. So the Devils and Blackhawks have that connection. But it's great that they were able to honor him. They're also wearing some patches as well in their practice gear, sticker on the helmet as well, which I think is phenomenal. And I'm just glad that both teams are doing this, as it's just a great thing.
Yeah, he was a huge part of the hockey community. Like hearing stories about, like, you grow up in Boston or you play hockey in the Boston area, you hear the name Hayes and it's just like, oh yeah, those are the Hayeses kind of thing. And it was just absolute heartbreaking hearing that, just waking up and seeing that news, like, because it was just his Instagram story that night before was
right.
Celebrating his kid's birthday. And it's just, oh man, absolutely heartbreaking to see. But I hope that they're able to, honor him well, which I think they have been doing. And it's just one of those things you wish you didn't have to see, but I'm glad they're handling it the right way.
Absolutely. We are now underway at the Rock as the Devils 2021-22 season is underway. I would say that obviously for you, Jerome, but you guys already played a game, so your season already started. This is just a typical game for you guys. Yeah. But the Soda Pod saying rest in peace, Jimmy. Yep. Pablo Ramos saying I love your pictures in the background. Assuming he's talking to you, obviously, Jerome, with all of it. That's awesome. Mad Mike Sports saying rest in peace, Jimmy Hayes. Absolutely. And just like that, 17 seconds in, it's Dougie Hamilton, our big free agent prize, scoring the first goal of the season. And it's 1-0 Devils. And all I have to say there, Jerome, is thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody was hoping that Dougie Hamilton would make an immediate impact. And just 17 seconds in, he scores a goal.
I'm a little bit delayed here, so I'm about to watch it now.
Oh, gee. Well, I'm watching it on television, so obviously I'm going to ruin every play for you.
That's totally fine, because now I can mentally prepare myself for this, but it already sounds, oh, yeah, that was a good goal.
And then Mad Mike Sports say Dougie Hamilton square. Hey, Hawks suck. All right, there we go. And Joe Cromwell. Oh snap! You're 20 seconds ahead of me. All right. Well, I apologize. I apologize to everybody. Okay, I apologize. I don't know what you want me to do. Just trying to broadcast the game, but yeah, that's kind of the start that I was looking for.
Yeah, I don't think you guys can ask for a much better start, and this is just kind of carbon copy from Wednesday, and this is getting a little concerning for Hawks fans.
I didn't really get a chance to see the replay, but it kind of looked like to me that puck went through the legs of Kevin Lankin in the 5-hole, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like, I can't tell if he was screened in front by Connor Murphy. His stick broke before the play before. No.
And the Devils right now are continuing to add some really good pace here as they're trying to get themselves another goal lead. One of the things as we continue to watch this game, Jerome, that's interesting is that we heard that Strome might potentially be traded within the next couple of weeks or so. And also we're hearing about the Rangers, one of their top prospects, Kravtsov, who wants out and is asking to be a trade. Do you think there's a possibility that Strome could be paired up with his brother in New York and Kravtsov potentially going the other way? I'm not saying there's any rumors that this is a trade that's happening, but it's just a possibility because both of those news came out right away.
Yeah, if there is any year for that to happen, it's this year. All the brothers are getting paired up lately, it feels like. But you know what? I have been, if you listen to our show, we have been hardcore trade Strome. We we've only liked Strome for a little bit, and that was when we first picked him up for that half a season when the Arizona traded him, and he actually looked good. Other than that, he just doesn't fit on this team. He's just
right.
Way this team is going. There's no fit for him. It's the same situation with Brett Connolly, who we buried in Rockford. I think Strome still might have some trade value. It's just tough because his sample size for where he was drafted and everything is just, they don't have, he's just not showing enough to be like, okay, well, we weren't give up a big prospect, big draft pick or something for him.
Yeah.
I would love to make that trade with the Rangers if they want to do it. I mean, let's go. But
absolutely.
I can't see him on this team much longer.
No, that's a fair point. By the way, Ryan Graves and Jesper Bratt with assists on the Dougie Hamilton goal. So Ryan Graves, also making his Devils debut, gets his first point. So two of the big defensemen that we got in the offseason right away making good contributions. So that is an excellent start for the Devils. And Andrew, yes, thank you for putting that out there. Brett and Graves got an assist. Joe Cromwell, who's going to do a good job of describing how the Blackhawks are playing tonight, says McCabe sucks, got owned. Okay. And then he also says Murphy with his stick blade up by his waist like a doofus. So I'm loving this. I'm loving Joe. I got to tell you, like him describing the Hawks and like from the pregame show to just on ice performance. This is he's not afraid to tell it like it is.
Joe, man, you gotta give McCabe some time. He is gonna end up being probably one of the best pickups from this past offseason. He is a very underrated guy. I think they may have overpaid him a little bit, that 4x4 deal. But I've had a chance to talk with him and be around him a little bit when the Chicago Pro Hockey League was going on before COVID. And he's a great guy, great talent. He loves the city, so he's gonna be a great fit for us. So I think you gotta just give him a little bit more time.
And I'm going to just quickly say on the replay, MSG, which is doing the Devils game, MSG Plus, they showed another replay, the Dougie Hamilton goal. I think they're going to end up giving an assist not to Brett, but to Pavel Zacha. He was the one that made the pass to him because Brett also was like right in the vision of the camera. So it looks like I think they're going to change it to that. But a good chance there by Dawson Mercer right in the slot. And it's stopped by Kevin Lankinen. And then PK Subban with a try that's also stopped by Lankinen. And then Janssen coming in and a good stick check by Kevin Lankinen. I'm getting my broadcasting, my play-by-play going here a little bit. So everybody gets a chance to hear me do that. He's just saying, haha, damn, I love Dougie. Yeah, we do too. Every Devils fan loves themselves some Dougie Hamilton. Joe saying, I think you're right, but they still don't get JC's defensive system. A lot of people don't, which might get him fired, even though I feel like that JC is a pretty good coach.
He got rushed.
He's young as hell. That's one thing.
Yeah. He got rushed into it. I don't know what happened between Bowman and Quenneville, but they've definitely rushed him. The second he got hired to be Rockford's head coach, I knew he was the coach in waiting.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to be after a year.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing that stood out to me by JC is the Devils have the puck in the Blackhawks zone, and the Blackhawks are continuing to struggle defensively to just, really settle the puck here. And they finally, as soon as I say that, they're able to clear it. I was really impressed by JC when the Hawks got into the bubble. It seemed like, and then granted, they played Edmonton, and Edmonton was kind of in shambles at that point. But still, he really impressed me with the way he was handling everything and the way he was coaching. Obviously, he's going to have some high expectations with obviously the team that he has in front of him. And again, I'm talking to Blackhawks fans. Give it time. Chemistry is such a vital thing that there's so many new pieces to this team. You got to give them time to gel. Give it like 10, 15 games. They'll be fine. That's the way that I look at it.
And that's also a fair point for the Devils fans too. I mean, you guys have a huge turnover on your roster as well. And you guys are in the same boat. Like I really like this Devils team, and I would love to see them make, the playoffs this upcoming season. But I know it's such a hard division you guys are in that it's going to be, there's a lot of hurdles you guys have to get past that you might just be a year or two away from, really, making that statement in the division.
Jerome, I've told people all the time, and they've heard it on the podcast, and they've heard it on these streams. The Devils play in a division of death. They literally play in a division where it's 6-7 teams vying for 3 or 4 spots. That was the case even last year. I mean, last year was just absolutely a joke, considering that we only got to play all of the teams in the East, which was killing, which was absolutely brutal. The only team that we had any sort of constant success was the Boston Bruins, which made no sense because we struggled against Buffalo. Nobody else did. And we didn't win a single game against the Capitals. So we're more than 365 days since the last time we beat Washington. But hopefully that changes. But yeah, we really are in the division of death. Mad Mike Sports saying MSG Plus should still be Fox Sports New York. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I do hope that at some point the Devils just get away from MSG Plus and are playing on their own network, because it is difficult when you have the Rangers and the Islanders and also the Sabres all on the same network. You kind of don't feel like you have your own. Jerome, obviously, they still have NBC Chicago?
Yeah, we're still NBC Chicago.
Yes, but they have their whole segment and everybody can focus just on the Blackhawks. The Devils are like the third most talked about team on that network, and it can be frustrating sometimes.
Does Buffalo get in and on that too?
They do, but you'd have to be from the New York area.
Gotcha.
Like, you'd have to be beyond New York City to get that station. Like, I cannot get Buffalo Sabres games.
Gotcha.
Even though I think that would be cool. I'd actually like to watch. Even though they stink, they have one of the best uniforms in the NHL, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. I think they're primed to make a cup run this year after beating.
Oh, you know what? After their first game, nobody's touching them. They're going 82-0. Like, nobody's going to touch them.
They always do that. They always start hot, and then they go and lose 14 games in a row.
They fall down. Isha being Isha saying, who does PK Subban Slewfoot and furthermore refuse to fall? Okay, Isha, can I just say that it wasn't a Slewfoot on Ryan Reeves? Even Reeves admitted it. Okay, he said that it wasn't a Slewfoot. It wasn't a dirty play. Can we just move on from that? I know PK Subban is a meme to a lot of people, and people don't like him, but let's move on from that. And honestly, the only guy that I can see Subban not wanting to fight is probably Tom Wilson. I frankly don't want to fight Tom Wilson. And I thought it was hilarious, by the way, in the Rangers loss to the Capitals earlier this week, that like Tom Wilson, every time there was a stoppage in play, he was thinking about roughing it up and then just like skated away to kind of intimidate. It was a very funny thing here. And by the way, they're showing Jeremy Colleton on the MSG broadcast. He is 36 years of age, the youngest active NHL coach, which is really young.
Former teammates of Brent Seabrook. They played on the same Team Canada team. Like World.
Nice.
I think it was World Juniors.
Was he? I mean, was he a decent player in the NHL? Did he play in the NHL?
He had a cup of coffee. I think like he was better. Yeah, he was a better junior league level player. I think it was the Islanders that drafted him. I don't think he did much because obviously he is 36 years old and this is his third season with the Hawks already. He's already coached 2 years with Rockford. And he's won championships over in Sweden and Switzerland too. So
yeah. Mad Mike confirming Buffalo is MSG Western New York. Yeah, I mean, it's just that you have to be from upstate New York to get that connection. If you're from even New York City, it's actually pretty tough. When I was told, Joe Cromwell saying Buffalo looked like fire the other night. Yes, they. I mean, I think Anderson's going to win the Vezina. I think he's just that elite. I think he's just that good. Dustin Tokarski's they're going to win the, what is it called? The Jennings Award for like the best goaltending tandem in the league.
Yeah.
They're going to be so good. He's just saying, dude, welcome to Canada. It's only Sportsnet. We only get Toronto talk. I hate the Maple Leafs and everything about the city because of our sports broadcaster in Canada. Okay. And an opportunity here for the Blackhawks. And I believe it was Hagel that took the shot and it was stopped by Bernier. And then a penalty coming up here. I believe it's against the Devils. It'll be a slash against Dougie Hamilton. So Dougie Hamilton definitely making his mark in his Devils debut as the Blackhawks will go to the power play. Real quick here, Jerome, what is I know it's only been one game, but what is your assessment so far of the Blackhawks power play?
It was really hard to say. They do a great job. I mean, Kubalik had that power play goal in the first period. I will have to admit that I did not finish that entire game. But
you gave up.
I gave up. I'm like,
you could just say, no, Jerome, we're all nice here. You could say that you gave up.
Yeah, I gave up. I'm like, I got too early to wake up call the next day for work. And I can't sit and watch this crap hockey. But no, the thing with their power play is it's easily read. It runs through Patrick Kane on the sideboard and all you have to do is take his passing lanes away in the front. It is nice though that Toews is back to playing in front of the net. So will be able to really get some presence in front there. Hagel is a beast on the power play too. With his big body, he's able to get there. It's an interesting. They go to the 4 forward, 1 defenseman setup. So, I mean, it hasn't been their strong suit over the past couple of seasons, and it blows your mind because of the talent they have on offensive talents they had. But it's tough.
And I mean, you look at the power play unit on the ice right now. You got to break it. You got Patrick Kane, Johnathan Toews, Seth Jones, and I don't know who the other guy is up top of my head, but a scramble in front of the net, and the puck bounces over the red line. It doesn't go through, and then the Devils are able to clear it. Jerome will obviously see that in just a couple seconds, but holy moly, what an opportunity for the Blackhawks, but they do not score there as the Devils remain in the lead, but that was a gorgeous opportunity as the Blackhawks have done pretty well on this power play, but just have not cashed in yet.
They're snake bitten. It's like the second they get one,
you're going to see it and you're going to be like, that should have gone in.
Like Seth Jones jumping up.
Yeah.
That. See, Toews sits in front.
So he's very far behind me, as you can tell by the way I'm describing it, as Subban clears it here with 20 seconds to go on the power play for the Hawks. So probably one last chance here for Chicago.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
And Kubalik coming in with a backhand try, but it's sticked away by Michael McLeod. Devils clear again. And, Jerome, I mean, the Hawks were just a luck of a bounce away from tying this game. And then a long pass for Andreas Janssen on a short-handed breakaway. Backhand, and he just goes wide. He had the open net, but he missed. And Andreas Janssen nearly scoring there to make it 2-0 as the power play for the Hawks comes to an end, and we're back to even strength.
I just saw, too, that you guys had the 31st ranked penalty kill last season. How you feeling about that this year? You think they did what they needed to improve it?
We're 1 for 1. So far we have 100%. So we're already elite. I mean, look, we had the worst power play in the NHL, in NHL history. We had at one point they showed statistic wise, we had the 4th worst power play in NHL history. So, and that just comes from a lack of defense in general, a bunch of young guys playing and just not being able to do the job that we need to do. And that's why the defense upgrading it with guys like Hamilton Graves, Christian Jaros was so important this offseason. And so far, 1 for 1, we'll take that. We were a little bit lucky, obviously, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of luck as we're just about halfway through the first period with the Devils still leading 1-0. Right now, it kind of just feels like both teams are kind of feeling each other out.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like either team is really controlling the puck. It's just kind of fluttering around, as I would say. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I'm going to use it.
Yeah, it's always the first couple games. It's really ugly hockey to get going. Everybody's still they played 6 preseason games, but it takes a little bit.
Not everybody played in those 6 preseason games.
Right, exactly. And there's a big difference between going from the preseason to a regular season game. So, and both teams got a lot of young guys still trying to find their footing, all that. So it's going to be pretty ugly to start.
It is. Andrew H. say, Neil, I'm going to the Tuesday's game against Seattle. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was trying to get tickets, but oh my. I mean, for that game specifically, it's just too much for my wallet. I mean, it's just I get it. It's the first game against the Kraken. That's not going to be an easy game because the Kraken have clearly proven through 2 games that they can compete. And Jerome, obviously, like I said before, I did the live stream for that game. I did the live watch-along. That was just hilarious to see Vegas nearly blow that entire game. I mean, they had a 3-0 lead and blew it, but they obviously got it right back on some crap with that kicked in goal, which really, I don't know why that rule exists anymore because clearly it doesn't matter if you kick it in, they're still going to call it. But yeah, the Kraken have really proven a lot through the first 2 games.
Yeah, I didn't like their who was it, Boucher between the glass. He was like, the league wants more scoring, and sometimes you just got to let that go. It's like, no, you follow the rules. There's a reason why. There's a rule for it.
And Boucher being a goalie, I don't know why he would not want that not to be. I don't know why he wouldn't want that to not be a goal.
I really felt like that was a poorly executed play, especially when you're making the premiere on ESPN. You got a lot of new fans, especially not hockey fans. So you're trying to tell them oh, it's a rule, but they don't care about it anyways.
No.
But the Kraken is such a wild card because on paper they're not Vegas. They went the complete opposite direction at building this team. They're a team that is built for once the cap starts going up. Then I think they're going to make their move to be an elite team. But they get to play in one of probably the worst divisions in the league, and they got good defensive players, good defensive game, an amazing tandem in net.
Yeah,
and that's all it really kind of takes sometimes.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely going to be fun to watch throughout the year, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually cheering on. I didn't cheer on Vegas because I felt like everything was handed to them. With Seattle, they just seem like so much fun. Their fan base, everything about them just seems like fun. So I'm kind of hoping that they make the playoffs. I don't think they'll make a run to the cup like Vegas did, but you never know. But they're a fun team. Their uniforms are great. They're already one of the top 5 selling jerseys in the league, from what I was told.
The different shades of blue that they have in that jersey. Oh man,
it's just so good.
So
and
nuts.
The white one, we saw their home one, and I was like, all right, it's pretty solid. But the white one just stands out so well.
Yeah, and it's the biggest disappointment about it though is they have all those awesome colors, and they did very boring gloves and pants to go with it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like they did the navy with the teal lettering. Like you got that red, do a little outline. Do like Vegas style where they had that cuff with the different color. No, not Vegas. Oh yeah, Vegas with the gold. LA's got the silver cuff and all that kind of stuff. Have some fun with it. Really make it look good.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, 8:20 to go here in the first period. The Devils are up 1-0 against the Chicago Blackhawks on a goal by Dougie Hamilton, the prized free agent for the Devils, scoring the first goal. Honestly, I feel like, and if you use DraftKings, first of all, use our promo code THPN, but I'm sure most people use DraftKings. They projected if you want to say who was going to score the first goal, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people pick Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, I
didn't realize how tall he was, by the way, until because I watched him occasionally when he was in Carolina and also when he was in Calgary and Boston. But watching him now in the Devils and watching him on a day-to-day basis, he is massive.
He's huge. He's a very goofy looking dude too. He is a very.
So is Ryan Graves. Graves is just towering. But a good opportunity there by the Devils was kind of thwarted as PK Subban kind of whiffed on the puck.
All right.
Just kind of looked like a classic PK Subban.
Yeah, okay, so he's come up a couple times now. I would love to hear like a New Jersey fan's opinion of PK Subban. I mean, it's very.
I could start with that.
Yeah, it's very well known how like the rest of the league sees him, but I never really hear like what the hometown thinks about him. So how does he feel for you guys?
Sorry, Hagel had a good opportunity in front of the shot, was blocked, and then another try by a Blackhawks defender was saved by Bernier. Bernier's looking good so far in his Devils debut. Obviously, we didn't expect him to start, but because of the injury to Blackwood, he is our starter for at least this game. But yeah, to go back to PK Subban, as another shot is blocked, as Hagel has really been all over the ice for the Hawks so far in this first period. He's been arguably their best player. With Subban, look, when he first came to the Devils, we were all excited because we knew the potential that he had, former Norris Trophy winner and everything like that. But, he just looks like that the game is starting to pass him by. I think the system that he's played in with He Who Shall Not Be Named and also Lindy Ruff, it's been tough. But I look at this year and I see that he's a third line pairing defenseman. Honestly, that's a really good position for him. And I think that he'll be able to do better on the offensive and also defensive side because his role is a lot less for a player at his age now. I still like Subban for the personality and how much he promotes the game of hockey and the Devils as well. I think it's great. 2-on-1 opportunity here as a shot just goes wide. It was Jimmy Vesey, the player who was on a PTO to start training camp, who made the team with a shot there as he nearly got his first goal as a Devil. But it's still 1-0 with about 6 minutes to go here in the first. But yeah, I'm hoping that Subban has kind of a bounce back year points-wise and just production-wise. And I mean, look, if we bring him back, great. If we don't, well, we now, instead of having $13 million in cap space, which we have right now, we go up to about $20 million next year. So it's really honestly kind of like, just let him do what he wants to do. I'm cool with having PK Subban as a depth defenseman. That is my opinion of PK Subban. So if any of the Devils fans are in here, please share your thoughts as well. Jerome wants to see that. But that would be my my thoughts on PK Subban as a Devil. I mean, I still like that he's on the Devils. I think it's cool.
Yeah, but like you said, $9 million, cool.
Remember, Devils fans will know this. This was a panic move to try to keep Taylor Hall from leaving, and it didn't work out. So
I also think
that is why he's
more overrated players in the league.
And I can understand that. I can totally understand that. Couple more comments here. Andrew saying, it was nice to see Seattle get their first win against Crashville, especially with he who shall not be named. Thank you, Andrew. Still coaching them. Yeah, I don't really understand how Dave Poyle believes in the bald man behind the bench. He wasn't good in New Jersey. The Devils won in spite of his coaching. I continue to say that, and this is very true. And now Nashville has to deal with it, and I keep warning Predators fans, you're not going to like him, and so far, nobody likes him. So there you go, Jerome. You have you know for a fact that you'll do well against the Predators this year.
Actually, no, we don't. For some reason, Predators, ever since they swept us in, 2017 or no?
Right.
I forgot what year that was, but
17. No, you're right. I think it was 17. Yeah. I think you're right.
They have just had our number. I don't know if it's just the Hawks have the yips against them now or what, but especially last year, they just
PTSD.
Destroyed us. It was unreal.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll go from there. Pablo Ramos saying, love the Kraken jerseys. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's one person, and I can understand, Jerome, though, what you're saying as a good shot there by a Blackhawks defenseman is stopped by Jonathan Bernier with 4 minutes to go as they'll go to commercial break. I actually believe that's Gudbranson that took that shot. He's 58, right?
Gustafson, excuse
me. Gudbranson. Yeah. Gudbranson played. No, that's a goalie. I'm really screwing up my names. It's early in the season, folks. Give me time. Paulo Ramos asking us a question, Jerome. Who is your least favorite team? Well, for me personally, it's the New York Rangers. And it has nothing to do with the players. It has to do with the fans. I really can't stand Rangers fans. I have friends that are Rangers fans, and sometimes I can't stand them. So that's kind of it. I can take a wild guess, Jerome, which team you don't like, but I'm going to let you answer that.
Detroit.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
It's so.
No, I could see that, but I was thinking St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis is up there. St. Louis is slowly taking over for Detroit, but Detroit Blackhawks was like the greatest rivalry that got ruined by the realignment, and it's just one of those that I am so upset that the NHL did that. I understand why Detroit cried to the NHL that we didn't get to we don't like playing in the central time zone and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god, this is not gonna end.
Dude, you do realize that like he's not going away like this whole thing. He's gonna mention it every 30 minutes that you don't like the Wild.
You know what? The Mild are a very entertaining team to watch if you need to go to sleep. If you don't have ZQL or something, toss on a Mild game and you're good.
Ooh, that is. I like this. We're talking. This is a Devils game, and I'm hearing this. I'm loving this. I'm loving every second of it. They also said went from Norris caliber player talking about PK Subban so close to Stanley Cup in Montreal East Finals and Nashville Stanley Cup Finals to just loosing his legs so quickly. I think you mean losing, or I have no. I want to assume that is it. He also says to Jerome fighting words. Wow. So now we got that. I think we need Jerome. I think you have to do a live watch along of a Wild Blackhawks game so we can get that with Hoppy and the soda pot. I think you got to do it because I want entertainment.
I think if we can get multiple guys on here, my co-host Tanner. You want some fighting words for Minnesota? Let's get him on, and he'll have it ball with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, congratulations to Tanner, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jerome, did get married recently.
Yes, he did get married about a month ago, actually, already. So it's been
awesome. Well, congratulations to Jerome's co-host of the WCB podcast, Tanner. Congratulations to him. It's definitely a big accomplishment in life. And going back to the Devils game really quick, it's 3:43 to go in the first period. Devils still up 1-0. The soda pot also says, Jerome, we accept. So there you go.
All right, let's do it.
So Josh, if you're in here, make sure you schedule a Blackhawks Wild game live watch along so that these four gentlemen, could go to town. I want to see. I'm definitely going to be tuning in for that one because I want to laugh. I want to have so much fun with this. Joe Cromwell saying should have talked him out of it. Okay.
Yeah, there's no talking him out of it.
No, no,
He
no.
was sad. He was ready to go.
No, no, no. Hoppy is he's ready. He's ready. He's ready to get going. And I'm sure he'll be excited. I can't wait till Rossi starts playing for the Wild, because then Hoppy's just gonna be going off every game. Rossi scores a goal and he'll just like go on Twitter and just blast THPN with everything about Rossi. I'm wanting to. I'm gonna see that.
All right.
And then he also says, when Chicago plays the Wild next, we'll do it. All right, there we go.
Schedule right now. I'm pulling it up.
It's a good shot there by the Blackhawks. Is stopped by Jonathan Bernier. We're approaching the last 2 minutes here of this first period. And I've said before, and Jerome, I don't know if you would agree, is another chance there is blocked by PK Subban. So he's already playing better defensively. I got to give him that. I always say like the last 2 minutes of especially the first and second period are like the big momentum parts of the game, because if you score a goal, it gives you so much momentum going to the next 20 minutes. But if you give up a goal, you're really putting yourself in a difficult spot, and you could really kind of, screw up the momentum that you already had.
Yeah, and that's a Hawks killer too. They let up a lot of bad goals in the final 2 minutes. But you're right. Like, I don't know if you played hockey growing up or anything like that, but
I did a little bit.
I
Jack Hughes, by the way, with a shot that was somehow stopped by Kevin Lankinen, but right.
I know when I was playing, not that I play like real high competitive hockey, but still, like every time, whatever game was, if we let something up in that last 2 minutes, it was like you might as well just say we lost the game. So that final 2 minutes is so important.
And they're showing the replay of Jack Hughes' shot. It was actually stopped by the face mask of Kevin Lankinen, so that's got to ring his bells a little bit. Jack Hughes with a lot of high expectations this year, Jerome, with, this is the year where he has to hopefully try to, really break out and prove that he's not what some people say is a bust, which I still think has been really ridiculous.
Yeah, he's too young to label that.
I think it's just because everybody expects the first overall pick to be like Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews. And I've said this before. I said in the last live watch along that I did that look at Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon, it took him a while, as the Devils have an opportunity here as Tomas Tatar with a shot in front that was stopped by Kevin Lankinen, and now Mercer taking it back in the offensive zone, takes the slap shot, and then he takes the shot that's stopped by Lankinen. But yeah, Nathan McKinnon, he took a long time to get himself going, and now he's one of the best players in the league. So Not everybody is immediately a superstar. Some guys just need to take it a little bit longer time to get going.
It's a different game too now. Like, these guys are coming in so young, and they need that time to really develop. But talking about fighting words, how about Hughes with Vancouver?
Ooh, I would make more fun of the Canucks if they still hadn't signed Quinn to that contract, but now he's locked in. But then again, he could get moved anyway. Jim Benning is definitely on his way out of Vancouver. At least if they don't make the playoffs this year, he's out. Like, this is just the way I look at it.
Yeah.
The King, by the way, saying hello, everyone. What's up, the King? He actually was on the Kraken live watch along. He had a chance. He came in and said hi for a little bit. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh my God. So this is my best friend, who's a big Devils fan. He's also a massive soccer fan. If you're looking for like a guy who's like a really good like crap talker on Twitter, and he'll roast you, it's my friend Steve. He says, "Yeah, all right." I'm not going to say that on broadcast. No, sorry, Steve. Not going to do it. He's saying, "King, glad you're back. What's up?" Yeah, Ish obviously knows him well. And yeah, no, Ish goes, "Keep the Canucks out of it." No, nobody is safe on these live watch-alongs. Regardless of who's playing in the game that we're actually watching, nobody is safe. Okay, so we'll just do you want me to roast the Prince Albert Raiders uniforms again, Ish? Is that what you want? Do you want to get there? You want to go there? Because we'll go there. We'll go there. EC also says Benning should have been out years ago. Aquilini will never let him go. No, he won't.
It's the same story in Chicago with Bowman and Rocky. I don't understand what Bowman has on Rocky Wirtz that he just will not fire him. And in fact, they keep giving him promotions, and it's the most infuriating thing in the world.
My old man gave me a saying one time when you have situations like that where he would say, he must have. There's only 2 pictures of him doing something illegal with a dog, and he has one of them. So you can kind of interpret that any way you want.
Yeah.
But he's just saying this. White people already canceled the jerseys, Neil. Oh, that's nice. Good. I'm glad that we're already in cancel culture. I'm glad that cancel culture is alive and well. As we're down to 15 seconds here in the first period. Is Dougie Hamilton with a shot that is just wide. It might have actually gotten tipped in front as the Devils look to keep it in the zone for one last chance. Sharon Govich with a try that goes wide, and then we get a stoppage in play. What do we have here? As the ref is holding on to Calvin DeHaan. Not really sure why. Seth Jones and Dougie Hamilton having a nice talk. I'm sure they're both talking about how much they love the money that they got this offseason. And it's Yanni Kuokkanen going to the sin bin for the Devils. So unfortunately, the Devils will take a penalty as, Calvin DeHaan got hit accidentally in the face with a stick. So the Devils will go to the penalty kill for 2 minutes. So it's an opportunity to try to go 2 for 2. Calvin DeHaan, the former New York Islander, who's still really a good defenseman in his own right, at least in my opinion. I don't watch him enough to say that. But 5 seconds here as Johnathan Toews, Alex DeBrincat, Seth Jones, Patty Kane, and look, it's Tyler Johnson. The former Lightning, who finally is gone from Tampa Bay, is now on the ice as well as the faceoff is won by the Hawks, but then the Devils are able to steal and clear it, and that will do it for the first period as the Devils lead 1-0 on a goal by Dougie Hamilton, and the Hawks will start the second period, the first minute 55 of the second period, with a 1-0 lead. A couple more comments here. Let's see. Steve Durso saying, how nice it is to have games at full capacity again. Amen to that. You can't really say that in Canada yet, but amen to that here in the United States. Jerome, I believe it's full capacity in Chicago as well.
Yeah, it is. And it would be probably like 110% capacity, I believe. I think with standing room and all that kind of stuff. That's
awesome.
I think, the United Center fits like 18,000, and they usually have about 23,000 there on a sellout.
I'll be there. I'll be there in November, and I'm looking forward to that because I know a lot of people have said you got to go to a game in the United Center. It's the place to be.
If you just stay for the anthem.
Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm excited I'm gonna try to get there early so I can definitely hear that.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, I'm excited. Finally got tickets to my first game in probably almost 2 years now.
Oh, nice.
Playing Toronto in a couple weeks. So good, nice. Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane, Team America battles. It's gonna be fun.
That is great, man. That is great. The Kings saying, did you see the Kraken get their first dub yesterday? Yeah, we talked about it. Great job there. Tanev has really become like the voice and the physical sign of the Seattle Kraken. I think people really love Tanev so far. Andrew saying, period 1 done, have to play a full 40 minutes. The Devils really have to continue. They have to get back to where they played in the first 14 seconds of the game where they scored. Because this period, I would say, and Jerome, I don't know, we'll actually let's do that now. Let's give our first period thoughts. Jerome, go first. What are your first period thoughts from the Blackhawks perspective?
I feel like they're sitting back a little too much. I think that's what they're not attacking as much. They're letting the Devils come in, and they're not really forcing that blue line. Big key is if you can stop the offensive team coming in at the blue, I mean, you're going to win every game, and they are just giving up entry into the zone so easy, and it's just beyond frustrating. That first goal is 17 seconds in. That's a little rush from Lankinen, not playing real hockey in a while. I mean, I don't count the preseason for him. But you know what, they calm down, they slow down a little bit, they're getting their opportunities. It's just one of those things that as soon as they get they just need that one goal, and I think it's a completely different game.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I think honestly, after that goal, the Hawks defensively kind of settled down, and I think they looked at it and said, "Okay, we're not gonna have the start like we had against Colorado. We're gonna do a lot better, have more support." And I'm sure Fleury's sitting on the bench like, "Where the hell was this? Where was this? I got no support at all." But as far as from the Devils' perspective, I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying for years. Can we put the puck on the net a little bit more? Can we get some more shots? I'm tired of us just dumping it into the zone and not just like at least firing a shot on net. That's the way that we have to do that. There has to be more creativity when it comes to getting the puck to the net. That's the biggest thing that I take away. Defensively, I think we've been doing well. Penalty kill is off to a good start. Got to kill off this penalty going into the second period. Goaltending has been solid, but yeah, the main thing is just getting more pucks to the net, because when you put the puck on the net, good things happen. That's what I've been saying for many years. He's just saying Canucks just allowed full capacity now too. That's awesome.
That's 32 out of 32 then.
British Columbia just passed it. That is great. We love hearing that. Kevin Weeks. Is it Kevin Weeks? Oh, is the former Devil goalie Kevin Weeks? Is that?
Yeah.
It's got to be him. We need to kill off that penalty. Yes, we do. Too many penalties will lead to the game being tied. Yeah, I mean, you could only kill off the power play so many times because these guys in the NHL, they're so talented. They have so much skill that eventually they're going to find a way to put the puck in the back of the net. We will continue on here, but first, let's hear a word from our sponsors at the lovely people at DraftKings Sportsbook. That is the first time that I've seen that one. We actually just got it implemented like right before we started. Awesome. That was really good.
Yeah.
I really like that. I really like that. If you guys have any questions or any comments that you want us to discuss, please leave them in the comments section. Also, make sure to like and subscribe as well. It helps out the channel. We're continuing to try to grow the sport of hockey, and just grow the NHL as well. And grow basically the Hockey Podcast Network as well. We have podcasts for basically every single team. And also we have a podcast for other hockey-related stuff. It's great. YouTube. I don't know if this is actually YouTube itself talking to us. But anyway, they said, thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Happy to do this. The Soda Pod saying, if that does not get you using DraftKings, I don't know what does. Yes. Absolutely. Please use our promo code. I'm going to say it 100 times because I want you guys to use it. Please use our promo code THPN, which you can see obviously at the bottom right of your screen. So now we are into the first intermission. So we have some time here. I'm continuing to drink my wine. I'm about halfway done. So I'm probably going to need more before this game ends.
Cheers, Neil.
Cheers, buddy. What are you drinking? Tell the folks on what you're drinking.
I am drinking some Revolutionary Brewery Fifth City Chicago Pale Ale. It's a good brewery based out of Chicago.
Nice.
Decent beer. Yeah, you like IPAs? This is a good one for you.
Yeah, I'm a big IPA guy as well. I do also collect cans that I think are really cool, so I may have a problem there, but otherwise I like them. So hopefully I'll continue to collect some. Hoppy will definitely probably recommend some beers that have like really cool cans. I mean, I'll also probably drink the beer as well, but it just depends on what it is. I'm not really picky when it comes to alcohol, to be honest with you. But let's not talk about that, shall we? But the Soda Pod saying, damn, you definitely need to come on the Soda Pod, Jerome, and talk about that beauty. So there you go. So now you got two reasons to talk with them.
And I looked, the Hawks, unless I'm missing something, they don't play the Wild until end of January.
And really that late? Their first game against the Wild is not till late January?
January 21st. And they have a home and home the 21st and 22nd.
How many games does each team play within the Division 4? 4?
Yeah, I think it's 4 now because it's all even now.
Ooh. It would make sense if it was 4.
Yeah.
Because what was it last year? Well, last year was different. Last year was just you played every team many times. Yeah. But it was probably, I think it's 4. I could be wrong. If somebody could obviously tell us if you want. But
it looks like we only got Minnesota 4 times.
Wow. So speaking of Minnesota, because I think we got to talk about this a little bit. One of the other things that I've talked about before that's great Jerome, is that we have a really normal NHL season. And what I mean by that is that we have not only the regular season, 82 games, but we have an all-star game in Las Vegas this year, which I think is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Considering how well presentation-wise the Golden Knights do it every game, I can't wait to see what they do for the all-star game. And then we have a couple – how many outdoor games do we have? We have 2 at the moment? 3? 2. We have the Winter Classic.
Winter Class, 2.
We have
Nashville
the Heritage Classic between the Maple Leafs and Sabres.
And Nashville has a stadium series
against Tampa.
Yeah.
So we have those 3 outdoor games. And obviously, we got the Olympics. And what's great, Jerome, is that you are the first non-Canadian man to be on a live watch along with me. I feel very happy that I can talk some USA hockey with someone because otherwise I get roasted in the comments all the time about, the USA is terrible. Canada's so much better than them, which I'm going to get in like 5 seconds in the comment section. But
it's fair. It is very fair.
I mean, yeah. Oh, okay. Look, there we go. Yeah. See that. Okay. Hoppy's on the board. Let's go. I like hearing that. Yes. And he's also saying Olympics, baby. Yeah. I mean, and we got NHL players playing in the Olympics as well. And that's the most important thing. So with all that being said, Jerome, what is the biggest, I feel like I know the answer, but what is the biggest event or events that you're most looking forward to other than the regular season?
Oh man, Olympics is probably by far the one thing I'm looking for the most. I absolutely love international play. I think that a lot of these guys, the love they have for their country and representing their country, it just puts out such amazing hockey. And the fact that we get, like you said, we get the NHLers back in there. I couldn't tell you one thing about the last Olympics hockey competition because I didn't watch them because there was nothing pulling me in not having the NHLers.
Yeah.
World Juniors is another amazing one.
Yeah. Isha brings up a good point. The World Juniors, like, what is it usually like right after Boxing Day?
It's Christmas, the 26th usually. December 26th, I think, is always the first day.
Okay. Let me explain. Let me explain that, Jerome, because you may not understand.
I saw it. I watched.
Oh, you saw. So you saw Ryan do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you missed the last live watch along, which again was Seattle versus Vegas, I was on with Ryan from the Starcastic podcast, which covers the Dallas Stars. He had a piano literally right next to him. And everybody in the comments was like, "Oh, can you play something? Can you play Billy Joel, Piano Man?" And he did, but unfortunately, we couldn't get the sound. So we all assumed that he did well, but we couldn't hear it. So hopefully, the next time Ryan does a stream and everything like that, we'll get that set up so you guys can hear that. So you have some musical entertainment between periods, which I think is something we're all looking forward to. With that. Isha also saying USA goalies are unreal. Yeah, they are. The rest of the team will be killed by Canada. No, they won't. Even they won't. I'm waiting for that first USA Canada game. That's going to be something else.
We get to see Patrick Kane and Austin Matthews play together. Oh, come on.
It's going to be lovely.
That is going to be unreal. And it is such a shame of what's going on with Jack Eichel in Buffalo because that guy died.
We need Eichel. We need Eichel.
Yeah, I think honestly, if he could just get to it, I think he wanted to get to any team just so he can get in the Olympics. Because once it got okay for NHL to go back to the Olympics, you really saw the talks about him.
Yes to this answer. Now, yes to this question real quick. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to do that. Yes, please. Let's do it. And let's get as many people as possible if we can. On both sides. I don't want it to be like one USA guy and like 6 Canadian guys. That's not fair. That's really not fair. There has to be a rule to this. And here we go. He says, man, this ain't 2010 USA. It's not even going to be. Oh, okay. That's nice. That's not. We can't beat Finland. Right. I'm sorry. Who are their goaltenders? It's not Tuukka Rask. I'll tell you that. Well, actually, it still can be, I think.
It's going to be Kevin Lankinen.
Kevin Lankinen. But we don't want him to do that well. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Olympics in particular. I'm looking forward to getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's the one bummer. Like it's a curse, but also a blessing because now I'm like, okay, cool. At work, toss it up on the screen at the big screen TV we have there. Watch some hockey during the day in the morning, and it's gonna be great hockey going when you get home. Like, oh man, Yeah, I'm super excited for that.
I love this answer. I don't understand Boxing Day. Well, Mad Mike, I know for a fact you're not Canadian, so I understand why you don't get it. I get it to an extent. Somebody, probably Ish, I already answered this question. Probably Ish could explain that in the comments. Ish, if you don't mind, you could do that. He also says, I can do the USA side with you, Neil. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're looking for more and more people, so we'll definitely see, who's going to be available for that when the time comes. We got some months to go beforehand, but we'll definitely do that. Sodapod, Isha does not know what he is talking about. Canada is good at one sport, big whoop. Yeah, I mean, that's true. They are good at one. Well, I would say this. They are really good at curling as well. And that's pushing it because they've done okay in that sport, which I still think is a great sport. But yeah, no, Canada, look, I mean, if you're from Canada, let's call it like it is. You are born with a hockey stick in your hand. Like the second that you are born, you have a hockey stick in your hand. So there you go. Isha also said it's our version of Black Friday. Okay. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. I'm glad that the Sopot said Scotty's tournament is legendary. I don't understand. I'm a little confused. Explain that. I'm not trying to sound ignorant. I just want to understand so I know what's going on. But okay, we'll roll with that. Also, another big day in Minnesota. I know we keep talking about Minnesota, which again, the Devils, by the way, Devils and Blackhawks, they're still in intermission. I think probably they're going to get to the second period in the next 2 or 3 minutes. We'll go from there. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, Joe, but he says curling, and then he goes, Jesus, boys. I mean, what do you want? We're trying to be nice about it a little bit. But I know that the much anticipated stream that people have talked to me about is doing another stream with Shane Ryan from the Sens podcast, because he's obviously big Canadian fan, big Canadian guy, I'm a big USA guy. We've had some debates. We actually did a whole rant together. Well, not a rant. We had a debate on the Soda Pod before the World Juniors, which was fun for me because obviously USA was able to get it done, which was great. But definitely I think people want to see that intensity again. But we are definitely going to be setting up and making sure that we have that. So, Hoppy saying, no, I mean, Scotty's is the biggest curling tournament.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's awesome. I'm glad. See, now I know. Now you're going to make me want to watch it. Now I'm going to watch it.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. But going back to the game here, Jerome, before the second period starts, obviously you talked about like your first period thoughts and what you liked and didn't like. What is the biggest message you would give the Blackhawks going into this next 20 minutes?
Get aggressive. Take a little bit more chances offensively. That doesn't mean have all 5 guys below the circle in the offensive zone, but get a little bit more aggressive. Like you're saying for the Devils, pucks on net. I mean, just throw them on net. You've seen a couple times where it's bouncing, just nearly goes over the line. Continue doing that and just keep working for that first one, and then it'll come to you guys.
Those are all very good points. I think for me, talking to the Devils, it would just be get more aggressive in front of the net. I mean, get more shots to the net, create more traffic, because there's been times where Lankin has been able to make an easy save because there's nobody standing in front of him. There's nobody creating chaos in front. We have to have at least 2 guys standing in front of the net. Like, we have to get more bodies there and just fire the puck. Even if you don't think that it's going to go in, just shoot it. What is the worst that can happen? It gets blocked. Or it goes out of play. At least you were trying to shoot the puck. That's what I want to see more from this team as a whole, with the talent that they have and the acquisitions that they've made. Let's just be a little bit more, not a little bit, let's be a lot more aggressive and just kind of go from there. The Devils, by the way, are showing on MSG some clips of them wearing the Kevin Hayes Broadway jerseys. There's some hats as well. Hagel of the Blackhawks, actually in warmups, he wore Jimmy Hayes' old number. I believe he wore 39.
Yeah, all the Blackhawks.
Actually, no, it was Patrick Kane. Excuse me. My apologies.
Every Blackhawk player wore.
All of them did.
They wore 39 with Hazy on the back.
Okay, and now MSG is showing a replay of Jimmy Hayes' first goal as a Devil. I was actually there on opening night against the Colorado Avalanche when he scored. I will speak about Jimmy Hayes and saying, I love this personality. I love this physicality as well. He was a guy that, he only played like 39 games or so with the team, but he definitely was a fan favorite to a lot of people. I loved his Super Bowl. He did a video on the Devils YouTube channel where he did like a Super Bowl kind of prediction with a lot of players. And it was really funny because most of the guys did not know football, let alone the Super Bowl was going on. Yeah. So I thought that was really fun. So it is unfortunate that Jimmy Hayes is no longer with us. And like Jerome mentioned before, he put out something on his Instagram story like just the day before. And then
it was still up when the news broke. And that
was the thing that was so hard to deal with. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Hayes family and also the Missing Curfew podcast, which Jimmy Hayes was a part of, as we are now underway here the second period as the Hawks start off with a power play as Yanni Kuokkanen went to the box for a high sticking minor penalty on, I believe he ended up hitting Calvin DeHaan. The Hawks are 0 for 1 on the power play with one shot. SodaPod saying, oh my God, I forgot about that. That was unreal. Isha lost so much money betting on Canada. Yeah, he's talking about the World Juniors gold medal game, which was great for USA. Now, hopefully we can build upon that. And if we could just get a medal, honestly, I'll be satisfied. Like at work, like I don't want to once again finish like in 4th or 5th place.
Yeah, that's very fair. But you know what? Keep doubting Team USA.
That's what I'm hoping for. It's a good one-time pass, and the Hawks have scored on the power play. It's Alex DeBrincat.
Greasy cat, baby. Let's go.
And DeBrincat ties the game at 1 as just a nice pass from Patrick Kane to DeBrincat on the one-timer, and Bernier just couldn't get over there in time. And like I think somebody mentioned it before, and I apologize if I didn't shout you out. Just too many, you're only going to stop a power play so much before eventually they're going to make you pay. And Patrick Kane, gorgeous pass over to DeBrincat. It hit off the back of Bernier and in. So there's that. And for Alex DeBrincat, it's his first goal of the year. And he had 32 last year, so he's off to a good start for this season. He should say USA gets bronze and Finland gets silver. Yeah, how about Canada gets bronze, Finland gets silver, and USA gets gold? How about that?
Let's Cat. Let's go. Finally catching up. Sorry, guys.
No, he's mind you, again, if you guys are just tuning in, Jerome is a little bit behind me, so it's a little bit harder. So like I'm telling him what's going on, and then he has to wait to see what actually transpired with that. He's just saying DeBrincat is so sick. No, he's a hell of a player.
I honestly, my bold prediction for the year is that he's going to compete for the Rocket. I think that is
a bold take.
He has this scoring ability. Like when he's on, he scored 41 and then 32 last year. Like this kid is so good, and he is just developing his game. Like he's not just focusing on being a scorer. He is an amazing playmaker. He has turned into an amazing two-way player too last year. Like watching him back check and just ripping the puck away from guys. Oh man, like this is going to be a season where if he can build off of last year, he's going to be considered elite. And I think the rest of the league is finally going to kind of like take notice on like who Alex DeBrincat is.
Yeah, he is a phenomenal player in his own right. A very young player as well. I think people forget how young some of the core is for the Chicago Blackhawks. The Devils actually put out a trivia question, and I'll just read out loud. Who is the only Devil to record a hat trick in the Devils home opener? I literally have no idea. Jerome, do you want to take a crack at this one?
Did they give it like just in general?
No, they literally just asked the question, and then they go like, and then it's just like, yeah, there you go. Answer the question.
Why would I think it'd be like something like Covey?
I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to say,
I'll wait for you to guess. I have another one.
I'm going to say Zach Parise. I don't know why. I'm just going to throw that out. Let's go with that. Zach Parise. The pod will tell me that I'm completely wrong, but that's my guess.
Elias too, possibly.
Elias potentially. Peter Sikora maybe. Sergei Brelin. It's definitely not a defense. If it's a defenseman, I'm going to laugh.
It was Scott Stevens. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's Scott Stevens. 3 of his, 8 goals of his career. As Kubalik with a shot that goes wide as the Hawks have come out much more aggressive here, Jerome, in this second period. They look like a team on a mission to try to, get themselves going here. Sotobot saying, what are the DraftKings odds on that take that Jerome made about DeBrincat? What do you think the odds are for that?
Oh, God.
By the way, use THPN as a promo code when you want to put this when you want to put down a bet for DeBrincat winning the Rocket Richard.
I don't know what we'll say, like plus 1,000 maybe. I don't know. Like,
that's not bad. No, that's reasonable.
Yeah, it's not very I really don't think it's gonna happen, but it's one of those things that I would not be shocked at all. I mean, he finished third in scoring last year. Again, hard to really go off of that because he was playing the same 6 teams. So yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point. He says plus 1,500. I don't know if that's confirmed, but he's saying plus 1,500.
I take it. I still take that and toss a couple bucks on there.
Awesome. So there we go. If you want to make a bet, go on DraftKings, use THPN as your promo code, and make a bet for DeBrincat to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. Mad Mike Sports saying, I think it might have been Parise Gomez. Gomez is actually not a bad one either. As, by the way, the Hawks are going to the penalty kill as Tyler Johnson decided to do the only thing that he's good at doing at this point in his career, and that is taking penalties. As he takes whatever that was, he hit Michael McLeod in front, so I'm assuming that they called an interference penalty. That is a weird call because it really wasn't that much of a penalty, but the Devils will go to the power play. I think this is their first power play of the year, so Pavel Zacha with a shot that gets blocked. Mad Mike also says Arnett. That's not a bad one either. So we'll see what the answer is when it comes back. I'll let you guys know, by the way, when the answer comes up, what the answer ended up being. Dan O'Toole asking me, what kind of wine you knocking back? Well, I mentioned this before. This is from 2019. This is the Villa Piano homemade wine that we make down in our cellar. We make it every year. We make white, we make red, and this is from 2019. And I'm enjoying it. This is I think this is, Jerome, I think this is my shtick. For every live thing that I do, I think I have to have a glass of wine with me.
Yeah, hey, enjoy yourself, man. That's the way to do it.
Oh, yeah. And also, fun fact for anybody that likes to know, wine actually helps you lower your blood sugar levels. So there you go. There's a fun fact for you that you may or may not have wanted. So you know that. But the Devils are on the power play right now. Dougie Hamilton with the puck gives over to Jack Hughes, and Jack Hughes tried to make a pass to Zacha that failed. Now Zacha retains it, takes a shot, and it's gloved by Kevin Lankinen, who continues to look good since he gave up that early goal 14 seconds into the game. The Soda Pod saying it's a good bet, talking about the DeBrincat bet, to throw like 20, 40 bucks on. That's not bad. What do you think that did you? Like 100 plus, probably? Trying to figure out.
So bad the math on that stuff.
And then Dan O'Toole saying, damn, my little croissant. Okay. That's an interesting comment. So there you go. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Neil Villapiano. That's of the Devil's State of Mind podcast. That's Zach Jerome of the WCV podcast. We are doing a live watch along of the Devils home opener against the Chicago Blackhawks. Right now it is 1-1 with 15 and a half minutes to go in this period. The Devils are on a power play looking to try to regain the lead. And a bad pass by Sharon Govich is misplayed by Subban, and so the Devils will look to try to have maybe one last rush here before this one comes in. Tomas Tatar is on the ice. He looked pretty good in the preseason, and hopefully he could bring some goal-scoring prowess to the Devils.
I really like that pickup for you guys. That was
we got him for basically nothing.
Yeah, that was he. I don't understand why he doesn't get as much love as he should. I mean, he's a great forward, good. I mean, he comes up big when he needs to. For whatever reason, he just can't hold on to wherever he goes.
And a good chance by Alex DeBrincat, shorthanded, that was denied by Bernier. DeBrincat nearly getting himself his second goal as Tatar with a backhand try that goes wide, and the Devils' power play comes to an end. So just like last year, the power play did very little. So we're off to a great start, guys, on the power play at least. But it's still 1-1, about 5.5 minutes into this period. And again, if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them in the comments section. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the THPN YouTube channel. We post hockey content all season long. We're going to have so many more of these live watch-alongs, especially when we have outdoor games, the All-Star game, and definitely when we have the Olympics. And that's going to be probably the streams that you'll definitely want to watch. But just make sure you watch all of them because all the support helps out tremendously. We actually had over 1,000 people at one point watching our last stream. So we're trying to get to 1,500 this time. So we got to kick it up a notch, Jerome.
Yeah, let's go. Come on. Tell your friends. This is Friday night. What else you guys have to do?
Yeah, what else are you doing? All right. Look, if you're with your girl, you gotta tell her, hey, look, babe, I gotta take a couple hours to myself. I gotta watch some hockey. You gotta watch the boys at THPN. Give us the thing. Oh, I forgot to do this. Shows you how well I'm doing tonight. Can we see the scoreboard again? Yes, you can. I apologize for that. Let me just quickly do that. Yeah, there we go. Let me update it as well. Apologize to everybody. Oh, wait, it updated itself. Okay, so there we go. So it is 1-1. I do apologize for that. It's early days. Still learning this. By the way, I'm using flashscore.com to give you guys updates with the score. They do really well because they give you like up-to-the-date things with penalties and goals and things like that. So, that's definitely what I like to use. But hopefully we have that as an opportunity here for the Devils in the zone. As a shot by Subban is blocked. And then another try is again blocked by the Blackhawks. 2 opportunities for PK Subban, but Murphy with back-to-back blocks there. So Murphy doing a little bit better defensively. As a pass in front to Nico is stopped by Lankin, and the net is a little bit dislodged, and we do get a stoppage in play with about 13-18 to go here as we'll go to commercial break in the broadcast. But got it from there. Isha with a nice little heart emoji. Thank you. I feel so loved now that you did that. But Jerome, I got to tell you, after that goal that was given up by Lincoln at 14 seconds in, he has done a really good job of settling in and making some really key saves.
Yeah, that's kind of his MO there. Like he always kind of like that first one goes in and sneaks in, and then something just clicks with him. That's what I'm saying. Like he has got the potential to be a really good elite goalie, and might be some trouble for USA when they play Finland.
Yeah, might be some trouble. Might be some trouble. The Devils are right now on MSG. They're showing Dawson Mercer, the rookie from Newfoundland, who played for Chicoutimi in juniors. He signed his entry-level contract last year, and this year he played in the Prospects tournament with the Devils and then made the team out of training camp. And so he is making his NHL debut, and we'll see if he's able to get a point. As a shot there was stopped by Lankinen, and then Tatar nearly got himself a rebound, but it was swept away. As now the Devils still have it here as a shot by Janssen is blocked, and then Tatar gets it back looking for a lane, gives it off to Colton White, and then over to Subban with a drive, and that one is blocked by the Hawks. The Hawks are doing a really good job in particular of clogging up those shooting lanes, particularly when Subban's on the ice. They're not letting him get a lot of pucks to the net. Joe Cromwell saying he looks calm, talking about Kevin Lankinen. Yeah, he certainly looks calm, cool, collected. Both teams, by the way, with 10 shots on goal.
That's already an improvement from their defensive core right there. Last year it was.
Why didn't we get the Hawks team from Wednesday? I watched that game and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna score 6 goals, and we've only scored 1 so far.
That's I was worried, man. I'm like, if they come out like they did against Colorado, this is there's some concern in Chicago, but I'm glad they kind of learned from that mistake, minus that first 5-6 minutes or so where New Jersey just kind of was all over them. But they kind of seem to be, figuring out a bit, and it's easy to see finally.
The Devils were kind of feeding off the emotion of the crowd in the first 5 minutes, and then Chicago was able to settle in, and they definitely looked really good defensively. As Marian Studenic carries it in for the Devils, as the Devils, again, they look a little discombobulated. They haven't been able to settle the puck as much. The Blackhawks are doing a really good job of preventing any opportunities. The shot here by the Blackhawks is stopped on their stick save by Bernier. I don't know who 13 is on the Hawks, but that was a good shot. That was a good shot by him. As Jesper Bratt comes into the zone, he gets knocked off by Seth Jones. Again, the Devils are struggling to just get the puck into the offensive zone. The Hawks are doing a good job of not letting a lot of forecheck opportunities and forcing the Devils to dump the puck a lot, which I guess is what Jeremy Colleton wants his defense to do when it comes to standing up at the blue line.
Exactly, yeah. And it must have been listening to the stream, because that's exactly what I said they have to do, and they're doing it.
They're not listening to me, that's for sure. Well, the Devils at least are not listening to me. The Hawks they're definitely listening to you, Jerome.
Yeah. But no, yeah, the Devils, I don't know if it's just maybe like you said that adrenaline rush kind of wore off from being with the home crowd for the first time. Oh, big hit by
Zacha with a shot there as that one is stopped by Kevin Lankinen. The follow-up try was also stopped, and then a little bit of a scramble in front, but Kevin Lankinen holds it, and he'll stop with 10 and a half minutes to go here as they will go to commercial break with the game still tied at 1. I got to say, Jerome, honestly, like back and forth, these teams are pretty much even with everything, even statistically speaking.
Yeah, like I said, like going into the season, I kind of looked like, I mean, they are very similar. The only difference that I would say the Hawks have is like they have just a little bit more experience on their, especially offensively.
I wouldn't say a little bit more. I'd say they have a lot.
I was say I'm trying to be a little bit nice there.
No, it's you can be honest. I mean, you have a lot more. The team itself has a lot more experience than the Devils do.
Yeah, I mean, any team with Patrick Kane and Johnathan Toews is going to be a lot of experience.
And also, Marc-Andre Fleury is your goaltender.
Exactly, but and Tyler Johnson, as much as you're ragging on him,
well, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, so we'll give him that.
We traded, we brought in.
You gave them Brent Seabrook's contract.
Yeah, and then we gave nothing for Marc-Andre, and we brought 5 Stanley Cups into the organization.
So, like, what was the like? I remember when Fleury originally got traded, somebody was saying like, oh, the prospect that they gave up for Fleury, talking about the Hawks, isn't even going to be playing for the Golden Knights. Like, I was so confused. Is he not with the team?
No, they cut him.
They traded. Wow, that was really just a cap dump then.
Yeah, it was 100% was a cap dump. That's what they had to do.
SodaPod is big Tyler Johnson fan. Awesome story coming out of Spokane, Washington. He also says USA, USA, USA. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Tyler Johnson's bad. It's just that like the contract that he got from Tampa really didn't pan out. And what was hilarious is that everybody was saying they were trying so desperately, Tampa, to move him, and they never could. And finally, after winning 2 cups, they were finally able to move that contract.
I don't understand how Tampa does what they do with their salary cap.
That just proves the salary cap is nothing. It just we might as well have a luxury. We might as well just have the luxury tax like baseball and move on with our lives.
They need to do that. I think they need to get rid of that hard salary cap. I think it's handicapping the game having this hard salary cap, especially now. Let these luxury cap penalties go and give it to the smaller market teams. We're going to split the line with
I'm so confused. Guys. What is he?
He's talking about DeBrincat, Johnson, and Kane.
Kane is not short. I mean,
he is.
Was he 5'11"?
He might be listed as 5'11", but he's probably like 5'8", 5'9". He is a tiny guy.
I'm taller than Patrick Kane? Wow. I'm 5'11". I'm taller than Patrick Kane? Wow, I feel accomplished in life.
Yeah, what do they have him listed as?
That is crazy. I didn't realize he was that short. Because he looks, maybe it's because it's the skates. He just looks taller in skates.
They have him listed at 5'10". At least Cap Friendly has him listed as 5'10".
5'10"?
I say what? 5'9".
I know Tyler Johnson's small. I get that. And also DeBrincat. But I didn't realize Kirby Dach. How tall is Kirby Dach? 6'5"?
No, he is 6. I want to say 6'1". I'm pulling up right now.
Oh, no. Taller in skates. No, he looks much bigger in skates.
He's 6'4". Yeah.
Yeah, like he looks so tall. He's a big dude.
He's a big, lanky dude. Like he's one of those guys. He doesn't look like an NHL player. Like the exact opposite reason that Phil Kessel doesn't look like an NHL player. This kid doesn't look like an NHL player. Joe
Cromwell saying, I think he was talking about Patrick Kane. He's the tallest of the 3. I mean, I think so. Probably. Because DeBrincat's like what, 5'8"?
Hey, DeBrincat's listed at 5'7".
He's listed at 5'7". That's nice. And then and Tyler Johnson's not a big man himself. So
you can't break that lineup because Kane finally has the power of being the tall guy. You got to keep that for him.
Yeah, right. Speaking of DeBrincat, he gets it over to Kane with a shot and a good save by Jonathan Bernier. I guess they heard us and they got pissed because we were crapping on them for their height. And DeBrincat with a nice pass over to Patrick Kane, but he makes the save. And so 9:23 to go here in the second period. It is still 1-1. The only goal this period was by Alex DeBrincat on the power play early here in this period to tie the game at 1, as Joe Cromwell does confirm that Kirby Dach is 6'4". So we got double the confirmation for that.
And that's listed without skates. So he's probably close to 6'7" on skates.
6'7", yeah. Which obviously, I guess when you look at like Dougie Hamilton and Ryan Graves, they're both like 6'4", 6'6". Yeah, they're much taller on skates.
Man, if Kane could have got that pass clean. Oh,
Cromwell saying Dach gets a little stronger and skates a tiny bit better. He could be really good. I think that's a fair assessment.
It's very fair. Yeah, he needs to put some weight on, put some muscle on.
After the hit he got from Landeskog, yeah, he does.
Yeah, I mean, there was times too in that first period, the puck was going in the corner, and he was playing timid. Like he would just pull. He would puppy going in the corner. He had a clear path to it. He would see, I think it was Jack Johnson coming in at him, and he just doesn't slam on the brakes, but he just pulls up and just pulls out of the corner.
Yeah,
that's the thing too, that a lot of these kids are on the Hawks are afraid to kind of go in the corner because unfortunately we don't have a guy that's going to step up and fight the guy that throws the hit on the superstar. Like, we don't have many enforcers, goon type players, which we don't really need it in the league anymore. But when watching that first period on Wednesday, DeBrincat got hammered plenty of times. Dach gets hammered in that first period, and then again against that Landeskog hit. You still need a guy that's going to step up and fight for the team. And I don't know if maybe Hagel might be it, but he's becoming such an offensive player that it would really suck to lose him for 5 minutes.
No, I think all those are very good points. They're showing a replay right now of the Kane shot. I agree with you. If Kane had gotten that pass cleanly, and Kane reacted like if he had gotten that pass cleanly, he probably scores.
Yeah,
you don't get that many Kane. You don't give up that many opportunities where Kane doesn't score in that situation.
He had opened up there. He should have opened up a little bit, but I think
he's so good, even at his age. I mean, how old is Kane? 32, 3? Yeah. He's 32, and he's still an elite player in this league.
And his numbers are just getting better.
And that's the scary thing.
It's at a time when starting to decline. His stats are just going up, and he's talking about how he wants to play until he's like jokes like, "Oh, I'm gonna play till I'm 50," and he realistically can do that. And the skill that he has, I mean, he might be an elite player till he's well in his 40s.
Patrick Kane has 3 shots on goal so far in this game. Joe Cromwell's talking about Kirby Dach. He was the only guy that showed up for the first period the other night. I guess more like Jerome could speak on that. He also says he was the only guy showed up for the presser after and acted like he gave a crap, put blame on himself for missing a shot, showed me a lot of being a good locker room guy, a leader.
Yeah, and he is definitely one of those leader guys. It's been kind of said that when Toews is done, it might be Dach's C, but I think that you're looking at DeBrincat now throwing his hat in the ring too. I mean, he's becoming a huge leader on this team as he got the A for at home.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely a guy that you can definitely hang your hat on for years to come. Right now, the shots on goal in this game are 13-11 in favor of Chicago. So clearly the Blackhawks have been the better team in this period. And it's very frustrating as a Devils fan because it feels like the Devils are kind of playing back, not really being as aggressive as they were the first couple minutes to start this game. And they got to get back to playing some more offensive hockey because the Hawks are coming. They have a lot to prove in this game. They want to prove that their loss against Colorado on opening night was not who they are, and they want to come out with a better result on this one. Josh Deming saying, drop a sub on the channel for the great live guys. Cheers from the Falls. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, again, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and also subscribe to this channel. We would greatly appreciate it. We're going to have more of these live watch-alongs throughout the season and much more hockey content as the year goes on. So make sure you like and subscribe. And
confirm there's going to be some awesome hockey content on this channel.
Oh, yeah. So we're not even hopeful. We know that there's going to be some good content. As a good shot, as a good pass from Toews to 23, Kurashev is stopped by Bernier. I said that name right? Kurashev? Was it?
Kurashev.
Thank you. Also, they're showing Young Men and the Sea, youngest active NHL captains. You have Bo Horvat at 26, Barkov at 26, Dylan Larkin 25, Connor McDavid at 24, and the youngest captain in the National Hockey League is number 13 on the New Jersey Devils, Nico Hischier, who was named captain last year at the age of 21. I don't even remember what I was doing at the age of 21 except being allowed to drink in public.
Yeah, what was that expected, or was that kind of like a surprise?
That was expected, but not as early as they did it. Let me put it that way. I think people expected Nico to be the captain when he was like 24, maybe, but he came back from injury, his first game of the year, and then they also named him the captain that day. It was just so much emotion, and then it was just like, I don't know. I think he'll grow into the role. But yeah, I mean, he is still very young, but I think he'll grow into it with the way the team is constructed. Excuse me.
Was it kind of one of those moves that they felt that they wanted to have a C, so they might as well just rip the Band-Aid off?
Yeah, and they also have Nico, here for the next 6+ years because they signed him to an extension 2 years ago. So, I mean, yeah, I think they wanted to make that confirmed. Josh Deming saying also drop a fat like. Yeah, I mean, that would be great. The more likes we get, the more this is going to get out there. We want to continue to grow this channel and be, one of the best places to find hockey and be the best place basically to get all of your hockey needs. Sodapod saying Dro is the awesome content on this channel. So there you go.
I don't know. I think it's the Watchalong with Neil. I think Neil's turned into the Watchalong master.
Thank you, Dro. I appreciate it. Penalty coming up here against the Hawks. So we'll see who it is with 6.5 minutes to go. It's actually Joe Cromwell's favorite player on the Hawks. It's Murphy going to the sin bin.
All right, Joe, if you're still in here watching, let me know.
I know he's still in here.
Are you anti-Murphy because they traded him for Hjalmarsson? Like, that's what I want to know. I'm just very curious to see, because that kind of seems to be a lot. That was my thing for a while. Like, that first year I did not give him any type of credit because we lost Hjalmarsson for him. Hjalmarsson was my guy. I loved Hjalmarsson on the back end. So that was a tough trade, and that's kind of was like the downfall for Bowman and Q. That kind of ruined their relationship too, because Q had no idea that was happening.
I mean, we'll see if he's still in here. He'll definitely give you responses. The Devils right now trying to figure it out on the power play, and their passing is still really not that good. This team, the Devils have to be one of the worst teams in the NHL when it comes to passing the puck. I don't understand how they have these guys that just do not know how to pass the puck with a half decent amount of skill. I don't get it. It's very frustrating. Still 1:23 to go on this power play. The Devils are still in their own zone, trying to just get the puck to center ice, and now they've accomplished that. One guy that's been really quiet in this game has been Jack Hughes. Haven't seen a lot, haven't heard a lot from him. I'm hoping that I know he's playing. I just saw him, but he's really been shut down. It's Dougie Hamilton with a shot and a scramble in front, but it was clear just before any Devil player could get there. Joe Cromwell talking about Murphy. That's some, but I understand they had to move money. And he also says, but I also think he's super overrated. So there's your answer.
Fair.
That's a fair point. Yanni Kuokkanen taking it in, giving over to Dawson Mercer, who's actually getting some power play time. Another guy that's been quiet for the Devils, Sharon Govich. Look, I'm not going to panic if some of the main guys of our team are not having a great first game. It's fine. But you would like to see them get going sooner rather than later. Same can be said for Jerome when it comes to the guys on his team as well. I mean, you want to see guys get off to a good start, but the Devils are struggling on this power play. 15 seconds to go as this shot all the way over. Kirby Dach steals the puck, gets it over on a one-time shot to Seth Jones, and he whiffed on it. And now a 2-on-1 chance here with Janssen as he takes a shot. It's saved by Kevin Lankinen. He had Colton White on the left, a good opportunity, probably the best one of that power play, but it comes to an end with 4.5 minutes to go in this period. Still 1-1 here at the Rock.
Is Jack Hughes 100% healthy, or is he still battling?
I think he's still recovering from the injury he sustained in a preseason game against the Islanders, so he may not be at 100%. But I'd give him. I'm not panicking. It's game 1 of 82. That's my response.
Yeah, he's what 20?
He's 20, yes. Joe Cromwell also saying he also missed the first third of his first season, but was drinking at most of Cubs games.
Who wasn't though, really? I mean, who was?
Who is he? Is he talking about Hjalmarsson?
No, he's talking about Murphy.
Talking about Murphy. Jeez, that's a damning statement right there.
there was some proof.
They're showing the replay of the Janssen shot. I'm hoping that Andreas Janssen can step up his game. He had a lot of high expectations coming over from Toronto. As a top 6 guy, he's now on the third line paired with I think he's paired right now with Tatar and Dawson Mercer. As a backhand try by Stallman, is stopped by Bernier. We'll get a commercial break with exactly 4 minutes to go in this game, and the game is still tied at 1. But yeah, I want Andreas Janssen to kind of, step up his game a little bit. I mean, it's been frustrating since he got here. He had COVID. He was struggling in a new system with new teammates, and I'm hoping that this year he can kind of, take his game to another level and he could start being a bigger contributor to this team.
And that's the thing too, like not just the Devils, not just the Hawks. It's a lot of players across this league that it's been a weird 2 years. Like it's really hard to develop this relationship with these teams or with your teammates and all that when you can't do the off-ice stuff that they weren't allowed to do. They weren't allowed to hang out after games. They weren't allowed to be in each other's hotel rooms when they were on the road.
Right.
Because so it's like you can't really get anything going when you can't form that chemistry. The chemistry is formed outside of the rink. And when you can't do that, it's going to make things a little bit tougher and it's going to translate on the ice. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of these guys, especially the younger ones.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to evaluate anybody over the last couple of years. And I'm hoping that things can start to, get back to where they were before, or at least, a little bit similar so that we can start really fully evaluating a lot of these players. Joe Cromo also talking about Murphy still, he gets out of position all the time and then gets scored on with his stick blade up by his waist, which Q would have benched him for. Honestly, Jerome, I feel like the more that Joe does this, the more likely Murphy will score in this game. That's what I'm worried about. Like I think you got to do like a giveaway and send him a Murphy jersey just for fun.
I got to, yeah. Maybe we'll do that.
So is Bob. I think that's a good line. Janssen and Tatar is a good pair. Yeah, I think it is too. I think that Tatar will be able to help Janssen kind of move his game a little bit more offensively. Andreas Janssen has 35 goals and 43 assists with a plus-minus of +11 so far in his career. If the Devils are not a playoff team, I would expect a guy like Janssen to get moved, but you don't know. But I still think the jury is out on Janssen. I think you got to give him a little bit more time before you go from there. All sports fan Adam, I'll let you answer this question, Jerome. It says, how are the Chicago Blackhawks looking, guys?
I think
by the way, the shots are 15 all.
Yeah, I think it's a really
better
low
defensively,
bar.
Right?
Yeah, it was a really low bar coming into the game, but I think
expectations were so low.
Exactly. They're doing great. I mean, clearly, I wish they were doing a little bit more offensively, but they're getting the opportunities. They're being aggressive. They're not letting New Jersey just run over them like they did the first six minutes or so. Yeah, it's just fighting. It's just getting that one. They got the one to tie it up. That was important. Gotta get that last one and that next one, and then it's game. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where it looked like the Devils were going to score another goal or two and really kind of take a stranglehold here as an opportunity here is snuffed out, but Michael McLeod's able to get to it first as the Devils are in the Blackhawks zone. He kind of skates it around the net, still looking for somebody, gets it over for a one-time blast, and it's stopped by Kevin Lankinen, who continues to piss me off, but also make me feel good because he's also doing well in fantasy. So I'm very torn right now. Cromwell saying, LOL, I'll take it. And he goes, whatever it takes for the team. And then he also says, the first couple minutes, the defense looked completely lost, just like the opener. The other night, I was scared. That's exactly what you were saying before, Jerome.
Yeah. They
I
have
hope you don't mind that I call you by your last name, by the way.
What's that?
I hope you don't mind that I call you by your last name.
I prefer to be called by my last name.
I mean, it's very creative, you know.
Yeah, that's where I go. I've always gone by my last name. On
the Slack thing, it's just Jerome, so I always assumed that was your name, and then I saw, oh, wait a minute, it's Zach.
Yeah, that's
a crazy moment here is Johnathan Toews whacked the puck directly at Kevin Lankinen, and Lankinen was still able to make the save. That was scary. Actually, it might have been it might have been McCabe that did that. I'm not sure. It was one of the two. So that was a scary moment there. But yeah, no, like you said, Jerome, I mean, it's the first couple minutes they look shaky defensively, but since then they've kind of locked it down.
Yeah. It's kind of like the opposite going for the Devils, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just pissing. You have no idea how much I'm pissed off right now watching this team. I'm really getting pissed off.
Oh yeah, that was McCabe putting on that.
That was scary. I thought they scored for a set. I was like, that would have been the worst way to take a 2-1 lead. I mean, you take it, but I would say to Joe, at least I was good. If that had happened, I would have said to Joe, well, at least it wasn't Murphy.
Yeah.
It's Murphy. Speaking of the Devil takes the shot, and that one was blocked in front. Good opportunity there. And yes, Cromwell did confirm it was McCabe. I believe it's with 2 C's, by the way. Just saying. Jesper Bratt with a shot, and that one just goes wide. Yeah, the Devils are just not – they're like one and done almost. Like they take one shot and that's it. They don't create enough traffic, and they're just letting the Blackhawks do whatever they want defensively. I don't feel like offensively the Hawks have done a whole lot, but defensively they've really improved. It's Jack Hughes with a shot, and he scores! Jack Hughes with a wrapper, which is basically he did a turnaround shot through a screen, and he beats Kevin Lankinen with 2:02 to go in the period, and the Devils have regained the lead, and I just need to keep crapping on Jack Hughes because that's the only way he's going to score.
Oh, man, yeah, talk about, him not showing up. And
yeah, I mean, it was just it started with Jack Hughes kind of fired the puck out in front. It was blocked by Tyler Johnson. He got it right back, and then he kind of used his backhand, did a spin around to his forehand, and he just fired it through a nice screen by Sharon Govich, and the Devils have taken the lead back with 2 minutes to go here. His first goal of the year, and he had 11 last year, so hopefully he could score at least 12 more to improve on last year, but that is great that Jack Hughes was able to score on opening night just to kind of calm the fans, including myself.
A 2-on-3, and they just let him walk through. See, that's a huge issue.
That was bad defense. That time, I will say, that was bad defense.
Oh, that was terrible. And
we were just talking positively about the Hawks defense, which is hilarious.
And that was Murphy. So,
sorry, Joe. That was Murphy. Oh, wait. Is he good?
Yeah.
He goes, and who was standing there with a stick up in his waist? That is definitely Murphy. So, Joe, should I drop Murphy from my fantasy team then? Like, is it really going to be this bad all year long? Is it just not worth keeping him? Mad Mike Sports has shows before about saying Jack Hughes, hey, Hawks suck. There you go. And then Steven Durso, Hughes. There you go. That's it. The fans, obviously I haven't heard the crowd, but you know that they were going absolutely crazy. But that is a big goal there. It's Tatar with a shot off the faceoff. That was a great save. Might have been the best save of the night for Kevin Lankinen. Jack Hughes' goal is unassisted, by the way. So
that was terrible defense.
Patrick Kane literally gets 3 guys. Forget double team. When Patrick Kane has the puck, he gets triple teamed. Like he just stood over there on the right side just now, and 3 guys were on him. Old Hawk 1985. Hawks fan here, loving your guys' play-by-play. Come on, man. Our defense is horrible without Keith and Seabrook. Well, it's also like not 2015. And also, here's the thing. Can I just say this personally? I think that the Hawks got way more than I expected they were going to get for Duncan Keith from Edmonton.
100.
And I said, out of all the moves that Stan Bowman made this offseason, that was the best one that he made.
Yeah, no, like I still don't believe that we got a very solid piece in Caleb Jones, who I wasn't very high on until the preseason, and he really stepped up big. And unfortunately, he's out for 6 weeks with a wrist injury. But
it's a good pass in front from VC to Michael McLeod was stopped by Kevin Lankinen with 10 seconds to go in the period.
The thing that a lot of people that were upset about moving Keith was that it was a lot of people living in the Stanley Cup era. I love Keith for what he gave us and what he did for between 2010 and 2015.
Mm-hmm.
But it was time. It was time to move on. And we, like I said before, like in like I don't know if it was like our pregame, but he handicapped our defense. With having Keith on the team, we weren't allowed to develop the guys to the role that they were supposed to be developed into. Boquist, Yokiharu, all those guys that were drafted to be the Nets, Keith and Siebes, they're no longer on the team because they just didn't develop because they got buried.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like now he is going to be closer to his son. Great. It worked out for everybody. And it's still unreal that we got a solid player and a draft pick.
I mean, that was definitely
even better if somehow Oilers can make the cup final.
Well, we all know that's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, as long as they have their 2 goaltenders, Koskinen and what is the other guy? Help me out here.
Mike Smith
as their goaltenders. they may not even make the playoffs. That's what I'm worried about. I honestly think there's a legitimate shot that they could miss out strictly because of their goaltending. Like, that's the way that I look at it. But just to let you guys know, the period has come to an end. It's 2-1 Devils after 2. So, Jerome, when we look at that second period, what are your thoughts from the Blackhawks perspective?
It was
perfect timing, by the way. Kevin Weeks asking thoughts on second period.
Yeah. Man, it was huge. Well, he said one more thing, and it's Neil. It's actually.
He also said, what did he say? Kevin Weeks and Neil. It's actually my name, not related. No, I understand, but still, like, it's pretty interesting how, like, you have the exact same name, and I think it's even spelled the same way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if I'm getting pranked here, that's hilarious. Did we find Kevin Weeks' burner account?
Yeah,
his YouTube burner account.
The name.
But anyway, your thoughts on the Blackhawks in that second period?
It was much better. I mean, they came out a lot more aggressive. Like I said, they needed to. They needed to take away the blue line from the Devils, and they did that. And they weren't like, completely all over them, but they were playing closer to Blackhawk hockey than it was supposed to. And unfortunately, kind of what we talked about, it was just outside of 2 minutes, but final 2 minutes, they let up a really bad goal defensively that unfortunately is going to overshadow the good that they did that period. But I mean, they're taking steps in the right direction for game 2.
Yeah, I mean, they do look better defensively. We were talking about this entire period, how much better defensively the Hawks have looked. And then right at the end there, they gave up that goal. So speaking as a Devils fan, you're obviously hoping that kind of gives you momentum going into the third, and you can kind of build on that. But you know that the Hawks are going to be coming out in the third and going, it's a 2-1 game. We're right there. We can win this game. Let's just go out there and take offensively what we did in that second period, take it into the third, get going as well defensively, and we should be good. As far as the Devils concerned, it's the same thing as the first period. Can we please get more aggressive in front of the net? You're allowing Chicago to easily poke check the puck away or force you to dump it, and we need to find some ways to get the puck in, carry it in, set something up, and go from there. I understand it was the preseason, but if you go back to that 7-1 win against the Rangers, there was a lot to look at offensively that you could say, oh, we could translate that into the regular season. Let's get that. Let's get going with that. Let's get some more shots on goals. Good things happen when you put the puck on the net. Can I trademark that? I would love to trademark that. I don't know if I can. Isha, if I can get a shirt on the website that says, when you put the puck on the net, good things happen, or something along those lines, that would be great. But the Devils got to get the puck on the net a lot more in this third period. And they can't. For the love of all God that is holy, do not go back to conservative hockey and play and just play with the lead and just try to protect it. Go out. You want to protect the lead? Go score another 2 or 3 goals. Put this game away. Do not let Chicago get back into it. That is a rant because I am not liking the way this team has played for the most part. I really am not. Offensively, defensively, they've looked pretty good, honestly. Goaltending, they look good. Offensively, what the hell are we doing? We have less than 20 shots through 2 periods. Can we please get the puck on the net more? We have a lot of talent on this team. Let's get it going. There's my rant for the second period.
Does it make you feel any better that it's game 1?
No. I'm like Steve Dangle in many ways. Like, I'm like the Steve Dangle of the Devils community. I like even that. Like, if we win this game 2-1, I'm still going to sit here and be like, why are we not shooting the puck more? Like, I'm still going to be mad. Like, I'm still going to freak out because I swear, if we blow a 2, I just don't want them to go up by like 2 or 3 goals in this third period, Jerome, and then blow it. I'm not here for that. I don't want to do this on live stream. I don't want to flip out like that. I know people want to see it. I don't want to do it. I'm not ready to be hurt again. I'm not ready for pain. Just not. It's game 1. Let me have this. Let me have. If we lose 3-2 in the shootout or overtime, okay, I can deal with that. But I don't want to have a multiple goal lead and blow it. That's just not what I want. I don't want it. The Soda Pod saying the goalie who we all thought was done after Tampa is somehow still in the league. I think he's talking about Smith.
Yeah, yes? Smith, who somehow got a 2-year contract. I don't understand. I can maybe give him a 1-year deal, but they signed for 2. Ken Holland doing Ken Holland things, man.
Kevin Holland is crazy. Kevin Weeks saying, I know, right? He's talking about his name. Yeah, it is pretty wild. Isha saying, let me just show you here. Great conversation. Thanks to everyone commenting. These guys are awesome. Thank you, Isha. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. He also said this, you are better than Steve. Hashtag F Toronto. Okay, that's fair. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, and Jerome actually, he and his partner actually did an interview with Steve Dangle. What, this past summer?
It was like last year during like the COVID lockout time period. We had a bunch of different guys come on. And yeah, he ironically enough, because he was kind of like the inspiration for us to start our podcast. So we actually got him lined up for episode 100. So it worked out really cool. That's
awesome. I'm hoping that I get the chance at some point to interview him, because he's one of the guys that got me into wanting to do this. I actually did an interview with another pretty well-known YouTuber called Urinating Tree. I don't know, Jerome, if you've ever heard of him.
I haven't. No, I've seen him. You talk about stuff, so I'm always kind of curious.
Yeah, no, he's really funny. He's big on all sports. I had him on a couple weeks ago. We were talking about all things Devils and all things hockey. Go check out that episode if you haven't yet. He's a great guy. But yeah, I'm trying to get on some more guests as the season progresses. We've actually gotten a couple more on recently. But yeah, no, Steve is. I actually just found this out. Steve Dangle is in his 15th season doing LFR.
It's insane.
It's 15 years. He's been doing this for. I was in middle school when he started doing this.
Yeah, it's
blowing my mind.
Like, yeah, and he kind of. And what's awesome, like, so if you're in this, watching right now in the comments and all that, and you're not a member of the Hockey Podcast Network, he is like a huge kind of inspiration to a lot of guys in here, because he kind of shows.
You could see he at least admits that he's great, even though he's from Toronto.
He's one of those guys that if you're not familiar with him, he made a career out of yelling into his camera about the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had no like real media background and all that kind of stuff. He kind of forced his way into the industry. If you haven't read his book that he wrote, it's
I haven't yet, but I definitely will check it out.
Great read, and it kind of like you finish reading that and you're just like, all right, let's go. What can I do now to like take myself to the next level? But he's definitely a great, especially how you feel about Toronto. I mean, I consider Toronto my Eastern Conference team. Sorry, Isha, but but yeah, he's a very inspirational guy, and for people coming up into the industry, and it's a nice way to see that you can do what he does and what you want to do without having to go through the proper the old school channels.
No, I mean he's definitely a guy that a lot of people respect, and they definitely admire in many ways. Like I said before, he's a guy that I've definitely been a fan of before, and that's somebody that I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm trying to like figure it out here, because like I'm really just like not good at this, because I'm still learning how to do this correctly. But I wanted to show you guys some really quick, because I made like a couple of announcements on it over the past like week or so. I'm hoping that everybody can see it. If they can't, I do apologize. I think, Drum, can you see it at all? Or
no, I do not.
Let me just add it to the stream real quick. There we go. So yes, this past week I made an announcement that I have published my third book that I've written. It's called Maple Leafs to Maple Laughs: The Torture and Heartbreak of Being a Leafs Fan. So it's a book that I really enjoyed writing. It talks about all the pain, the regrets, the anguish, everything that involves being a Toronto Maple Leafs fan since the last time they won the Cup, which is in 1967. And actually, that is the price for the book as well, 1967. So I think you could take a guess.
Oh, amazing.
Why I chose that price. So that was, I wrote that book. So if you get it, if you have an opportunity, please go check out that book. Go buy it, whether on Kindle or on paperback. And leave a rating and everything like that. I would greatly appreciate it. And just please check out the book. So if you know a Leafs fan, if you're a Leafs fan, or you just want to support me, go check out that book. I would greatly appreciate it. So that's a quick self plug for myself.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm definitely going to check that one out, because like I said, they're my Eastern Conference team, unfortunately. And I just, for some reason too, I just love the suffering that the fan base has, because I mean, I went through it. I mean, the Hawks, it was 49 years between Stanley Cups for the Hawks. My entire childhood was just terrible. I call it the dark age of Chicago Blackhawks hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how bad it is. It was so bad that people didn't even know we had a hockey team.
And then Isha goes, Blackhawks and Toronto, you are lucky you do work, Jerome. That's a nice thing to say.
That's fine.
That's fine. No, we get that. And Isha says, I will read it with a smile. Thank you, Isha. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've had a bunch of people reach out to me the last couple of days about the book and everything. Even some Canadian fans, they've said, oh, will I get a laugh reading this book? I said, I promise you, this is the book for Canadians fans. If you want to have a laugh, go ahead, read that book. Go get it. I would appreciate it. Anybody, just go get that book. And also, if you want it signed, honestly, you could send it to me. Just hit me up on Twitter at THENVPSHOW, and you could send it to me, and I could send it back to you as a signed copy if you want that. I've done a couple signed copies in my day, once or twice. So I'm actually already thinking about writing a fourth book. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, but I didn't realize how much I loved writing until I started doing it, which is really fun.
What were the first two?
The other two were JETS Paint. I actually, you know what? Why don't I show you while we're at intermission here? Why don't I show you guys? I'll continue to self-plug myself because that's the kind of guy that I am. Let me just stand by here, ladies and gentlemen, as I continue to do this. I'm really good. I swear to God, I'm really good at my job, guys. I'm really good. I promise I'm not that bad. I'm really a nice guy. So let me just remove this. And then we'll just we'll show this real quick. Share screen. We're doing this. We're doing the thing, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So here is the second book that I had, which I think you can switch add to the stream. There we go. This is the second book first book that I wrote. JETS Pain, the agony and ecstasy. No ecstasy of being a New York Jets fan. Yeah. Jerome, obviously you're from the Chicago area, so I would assume that you're a Bears fan.
Yeah,
that's a good assumption. All right, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that I got through that. But yeah, no. I grew up in a household with a lot of Jets fans. They always talk about how much it pains to be a Jets fan and how much suffering they deal with. So I just decided one day, well, why don't I just write a book about it? Yeah. Because I don't think people have written books like this before. So I wrote that book. Came out about 2 years ago. It's for the price of $19.69. If you're a Jets fan or a football fan, you probably guessed why I chose that one. But the other book that I have here, and especially for some Jets fans, they might get the double amount of pain in just one moment here, as we have Meet the Mets Mess, the REGRETS of New York Town, which talks about the regrets of being a New York Mets fan. Also for the price of $19.69. So you can kind of see the trend that I'm going for here with these books that I've written.
You poor bastard. All these fans or teams that you cheer for, man.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jerome. I am not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan, actually.
Okay.
I'm not a Mets fan. I'm a Yankee fan. So people ask me all the time, why would you write books about these teams if you're not a fan of them? And I go, why not? There's no books out there like that.
That's fair.
Mean, yeah. It's with regards to the Maple Leafs, I mean, you do obviously have Steve Dangle's book, which is great. I mean, it really, but I feel like there isn't a book out there that really talks about all those crazy things that have happened in Maple Leafs history, especially since the last time they won the Cup. And I think after reading it, and also with the other books, you will be able to understand why it's so painful to be a fan of all three of these teams. Yeah, because it's incredible the things that have happened, because they're not normal. These things that have happened are not normal at all. So yeah, those are the three books that I've written. Make sure if you want, go check those books out on Amazon. You can just type in my name, Neil Villapiano, and you'll find those books. And let me know what you guys think. I would greatly appreciate if you guys could check those out. The Sotapod said, it will be worth millions when Neil is on ESPN. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. In my dreams, I'll be on ESPN. I mean, I would like to hope. This is my dream, Jerome, especially since I worked with the Hockey Pod Network. My dream is to get the Hockey Pod Network and ESPN to work together, and we stream some of the games on the Hockey Pod website or YouTube channel, whatever it is. And the only way that you could watch out-of-market games, forget ESPN Plus, we get Hockey Pod Net Plus.
Yeah, that would be
I think
awesome.
we need that.
I think also would be really cool to get a Hockey Podnet Sirius XM channel, or at
Ooh.
least like a show on the NHL Network. I think that
Mhm.
would be really cool as well.
I like that. See, now you're talking. See, Jerome, you and I, we got to start pitching these ideas to these guys. All right, and then what else? We got man, Mike, don't go there, Neil. I've had enough pain with being a Mets fan. Well, that's what you get for being a Mets fan. What do you want? I'm sorry. The franchise, 2015, they go to the World Series. Since then, they've done nothing. How? With arguably the best pitching staff in baseball at one time, and they did nothing.
When they just destroyed the Cubs in 2015,
At least the Cubs won a World Series in the last couple of years.
I got my one. I'm good.
Yes, he got his one.
They got his
one. So there you go.
Sox keep losing. My life is good. That's all that matters.
And that's what really, I'm sorry, the White Sox pissed me off because I really thought that they would get past the Astros. And the baseball god said, nope, they suck. Their pitching staff is going to implode in 4 games. And that's just how it goes.
That's all. But you know what? If you obviously are in Chicago based, so you don't see all the Chicago White Sox fans. I'm
going to meet a lot of them probably when I go to Chicago in a few weeks.
All they were talking about was how they can't wait to face the winner of Boston versus Tampa.
Oh, no. They were talking about it before
that. I was just like, oh, I cannot. This is going to be so sweet when they get destroyed. And they just got handed to them. They had one good game. I'll give it to them. But I just something about the White Sox losing. I just absolutely.
They had one good game. You emphasize on one, and look what happened to. I really it. Just I don't know. I'm done with baseball. We have 4 boring teams in the CS. The baseball gods do not. The baseball gods have not been a fan of mine for a long time. Isha's saying I have not smiled watching my Mariners in 20 years. They almost had it. They almost came back and created chaos on the last day of the season, but it did not happen, which is unfortunate. He also says ESPN buy THPN. Yeah, I mean, no, how about this? Why don't we flip it around? Why doesn't THPN buy ESPN?
Oh,
You ever think about that?
Hoochie cross for us now.
Yeah, we get Stephen A to do a hockey show on the network.
Oh, God, no.
No, let's think about that. Think about the craziness. The third period, by the way, is about to start here as we'll see what happens here. It's a 2-1 game, Devils lead. We'll kind of go from there. Capito 131 says hello from Brazil. All right, so we got some international fans. Well, obviously, we also got some boys from Canada as well. Isha says, here come the hands. All right, leave me alone, all right? Everybody, yeah, I'm Italian. What do you want? I have to use my hands, otherwise I can't speak like a normal person. He also says, we need DraftKings to pay us more before that happens. Hey, a man can dream. As we actually got a skirmish 16 seconds into the period as Jesper Bratt and Johnathan Toews are getting a little physical with each other. What's up with Toews? Toews is without a helmet. What is going on? How did we get to that point? It looked like to me that there was a hit. I think Bratt took exception to it. He may have whacked Toews with a stick, and then we go from there. As the Soda Pod says, Captain Series is back. Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, big hit from Toews.
Johnathan Toews with a big hit on Nico, and then Brad, his best friend, took exception to that. And what I love about it, Jerome, is that then you see Dougie Hamilton, who's bigger than everybody, just gives this massive bear hug. He's just like, all right, that's enough. And Jake McCabe just trying to jump in, acting like he's trying. But that was a big hit by Johnathan Toews, captain on captain.
Wow, serious. Let's go, bud.
Nico's skate nearly came up and hit Toews in the face. I'm glad it didn't. That was a little scary. But that reminds me of 2017, beginning of the 17-18 season, where Nico got hit. Actually, no, I think it was Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall got hit, and then Nico immediately went after. I believe it actually was Ryan Graves when he was still in Colorado, and they got into some fisticuffs. But there's actually a power play now for the Blackhawks here, which is not good. So there you go, Jesper Bratt to the box for roughing. That's really lame, but I understand it. So
that
let's see
the instigator type of thing.
Yeah. So we'll see if the Devils can kill it off here and try to prevent the Hawks from taking the lead. or tying the game, excuse me. I'm losing my track here. Steve Durso saying, if it's true, we have to use our hands when we speak. It is law. Yes, when you're Italian, it is law to use your hands. If you don't, there is something wrong. There's something very, very wrong. Capita also says, go Bolts. All right, so we have a Lightning fan in the audience. And then also the Soda Pot asking Capita, do the Bolts get the 3 cups in a row?
No.
God, I hope not.
It's staying in Florida, though.
I'm bored. I'm like, I want to see someone else, someone new. Let's get, like somebody else. Let's, it was like last year was weird as Sharon Govich comes at Kevin Lankinen. Lankinen actually came out of his net and almost turned over the puck. That was a dangerous play by Kevin Lankinen.
Yeah, he likes to play the puck a little too much sometimes.
He's not Marty Brodeur. I'm sorry. Nobody's going to be Marty Brodeur. You can't do it like that.
Too comfortable, and that gets scary.
Compita 131, by the way, says he doesn't believe that the Bolts make a three-peat. That's interesting. Coming from a Lightning fan, he does not believe that the Bolts will win a 3rd cup. It's very hard to do, as the Devils are doing a decent job of preventing the Hawks from really creating anything, as a pass there is broken up, as the Hawks still have it in the zone. The Devils just trying to get out. 7 seconds to go on the power play. It's a pass in front. Is stopped by Jonathan Bernier. And again, I keep forgetting who 13 is on the Hawks. Try to remember, who is 13, Jerome?
Borgstrom.
Borgstrom had a good shot in front, but stopped by Bernier. The penalty is over, so the teams are back to 5 aside. Sodapod saying, another hot take by Jerome. What are the DraftKings odds on Florida winning?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Winning what exactly? Winning the cup? I'm assuming that's what they need, right?
Yeah. I said that because we asked if it's going to be a 3-peat, and I said no, but it's staying in Florida.
Also, you have the Hawks. I mean, excuse me, the Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
I honestly would not even be mad if the Panthers won a cup. I'd be like, oh, okay, it's about time.
I think it's just fitting. I think that team is becoming an absolute tank, and they're really buying into Quenneville's strategy. Like, oh man, they're doing some great stuff. And Joe Thornton's there, so let him finally get his cup so he can just
he just win a cup, please.
And then if they're about to win, right before they get signed Marlowe too, so he can get his cup and he can go.
Don't get me started. Because you know what will happen? Marlowe will sign with the Sharks during the season and then get traded again. The amount of assets that the Sharks have picked up because of Marlowe over the last couple of years should be illegal. After a while, it's like every year it's the same thing. All right, he signs with the Sharks for 1 year, gets traded at the deadline, and then just goes back to the team after that. By the way, Simic Hockey Training says, love the Amati jersey, Jerome.
Simic Hockey Training, yeah, these guys are awesome. They are synonymous with Chicago Hockey Land Training. Their dad was an absolute legend in coaching in the Chicagoland area, so they're doing some awesome stuff now, kind of taking over.
I was going to say to CMOC if they're still here, do you guys work with Connor Carrick by any chance? He's a former Devil himself. It's a good try by Seth Jones coming in as he took it from the top of the blue line but Bernier makes the save. But I wanted to figure that out because I know that Connor Carrick, who's a former Devil now with the Seattle Kraken, is from Chicago, and he plays.
He's from my hometown. Yeah, we live in the same hometown.
Is he really?
Yeah. Orland Park, Illinois.
He has a really good podcast by Curious Competitor. It's a really good podcast. I would definitely recommend listening to that. That's somebody that I've definitely been trying to get on the podcast. I hope I can reach out to him and get in contact with him to talk to him, because he's a really, really good – he's not only a good hockey mind, he's just a really good guy in general.
Yeah.
And he's very, very bright, and he's really good at analyzing a lot of things, especially being a defenseman. CMOC actually said, my dad did train Connor when he was younger. Okay, there we go. So there is some connection. And then he says, private lessons in power skating. Okay, so there we go. We have that. Also, he says, they say that Panthers have a lot of likeness to the 2010 Hawks, Barkov like Toews and Hubby like Kane, and having Quenneville. Yeah, I mean, well, they are basically trying to be the 2010 Hawks when you really think about it.
It's not a bad blueprint to follow. So. And that's not being biased at all.
And the Soda Pot says the Florida rivalry is better than Alberta. How amazing would it be for Joe to win it in Florida and not Leafs or San Jose? I mean, that would, particularly I think for the Sharks, that would be hard to watch. I think not for the Leafs because it was only 1 year, but definitely for the Sharks, that would be like really hard pill to swallow. They would be happy for him, but they would obviously hope that that it would have been in San Jose. He also says, shout out to CMOC. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for coming on and saying hi to us. We really appreciate it. Hope to hear from you guys more and more throughout the season. We do appreciate your guys' support. 14:26 to go here in the third period. Still 2-1 Devils. As a shot there by number 16 of the Hawks is stopped by Johnathan Bernier. I'm still learning the players on the Hawks, so I apologize.
Yeah, sorry, guys, that I'm a little bit delayed, so I can't see.
Jerome knows the Hawks obviously better than I do. I know who Patrick Kane is and Johnathan Toews, so you got to give me that.
Yeah,
got to give me that. But the Hawks right now, they're doing it. They're having a couple of good shifts. As that shot rang off the pipe, good Branson with the shot, and he beat Johnathan Bernier, but he didn't beat Bernier's best friend, and that is the iron. So that shot is denied, and the Hawks are still trailing here in this game. Good opportunity, though.
16 Carr. It was a nice little pickup from Edmonton too. Nice little depth guy added.
There's Janssen with a backhand shot that looked like it did beat Lankinen, but it just went wide of the net. And another shot there is stopped by Lankinen, and it's knocked in. And I believe it's going to be, I don't know who, it is Andreas Janssen. Janssen on the rebound, and the Devils have extended the lead to 2. It's now 3-1 at the 13:26 mark, or just a little over 6.5 minutes into this third period. So Andreas Janssen, Jerome, we were talking about him in the second period. I said that I wanted to see more from him, and he gets a goal in opening night, and that's big for him. And Dawson Mercer, who took the original shot, I believe is going to get an assist, which will be his first point in the National Hockey League. And I believe also Tomas Tatar is going to get an assist as well.
Oh, man, that's the most frustrating thing for me with the Hawks. Like, they just give up in front of the net. They don't put any support for the goalies. The defense just stand there. And that was Kane right there, just standing there, letting him go in and get that rebound. Lincoln had no idea where that puck was. Like,
no, it was a good save, but he couldn't control it enough. Yeah. That was the big thing there. It says Mad Mike Sports says Janssen, hey, Hawks suck, and then Steven Durso, Janssen. These two guys have been intertwined with when the goals are scored. They both say the same thing, which I like. And so now, Jerome, you can answer this question. How is Kubalik playing?
Kubalik, I'm hoping it's gonna have the same effect. He's just non-existent right now. I don't feel like I've seen him much. He's had a couple of shots and all that, but other than that,
Hischier with a shot, and that shot hit the post. Nico Hischier with a good shot in the slot, and it was denied. Actually, it was denied by the post. So both teams have been lucky with the post in this, and it's crazy to think like if both of those goals had gone in, granted the Devils would still be winning, but how much different this game would be.
Oh yeah, this is the problem that the Hawks are going to have to figure out, is just how finishing games. It's been an issue for the past couple seasons that they can't play.
I'm sorry, Joe. Joe couldn't help himself.
Yep, there it is.
So there we go. Murphy's on the ice again. And also, Isha saying, Jerome, I hope this loss does not deter you away from doing more of these. Like the video and throw
whoa. There is still half of a period. Come on.
And it's a 2. And look, Devils fans, you know this. It's a 2-goal lead with 12 minutes to go in this game. There is nothing. There is no reason to be like, oh, okay, we got this game back. No, there is literally no reason. We have to continue to push, because otherwise we're going to blow it. I'm telling you, I've seen it before. So,
and honestly, these watchalongs are so much more entertaining, I think, when there's one miserable person in here, I think.
Like you're Michael McLeod here coming on a breakaway. He gets hit by Hagel, loses the puck, and then Lankinen covers it with 11:37 to go in this third period. Devils leading now 3-1 on the most recent goal by Andreas Janssen. And yeah, I mean, I did the first watch along we ever did on the Hockey Podcast. I did it 7-1 win for the Devils against the Rangers in the preseason, which was fun. But it is tough when it's just one person, that's for sure.
Joe, you're
kidding. Oh, this is great. No, I'm sorry. This is great. I knew they were done when I saw the CM Punk video. So Joe knew already, yep, we're screwed. We have no chance of winning this game. But again, Joe, there are like 11 and a half minutes to go in this game. Hockey is a magical, unpredictable sport. You never know what can happen.
17 seconds, Joe. Come on. 2013. You got to remember that.
And by the way, CMOC Hockey Train put out a couple more comments. They said, our biggest player we ever worked with was Christian Dvorak, now of the Montreal Canadiens. We trained for 3 years. In his London years and when he got drafted to the Yotes in the second round, most humble player. Oh, well, that's awesome. He also says, ISO quick plug, WCBP is the best pod for any Hawks fan. It's a must listen, and Zach does so much research and has the pulse of the diehard Hawks fans. So if you're in this live stream, it's a must listen. And then he finished it off by saying, so sub to the channel and go to the pod. Thank you, CMOC. We appreciate that support.
You're too kind, Jay. Appreciate it.
That's great, man. That's great. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Sofat said, it's comments like that show why Isha does not do well sports gambling. Yeah, stop. I mean, look, again, if you're gonna bet on some sports, first of all, go to DraftKings. Second of all, use our promo code THPN. When you put it out there. By the way, the trivia question is back. Who is the only Devil to record a hat trick in a Devils home opener? So we'll see in just a moment what the answer is. Kind of curious. Really don't know. I'm really curious. Brian Giunta on October 12th, 2006 versus Toronto. That is the answer. Would not be able to tell you that I remember that game.
I can't believe I didn't even think about Giunta. He was another
I feel bad because Giunta was great with us. Even his younger brother Steven was like so scrappy with us on that CVGV line with Jonathan Bernier. Not Jonathan Bernier. Sorry, Bernier, number 18. I forgot his first name. Stephen Bernier. Steve Bernier? Yeah, Steve Bernier. And Ryan Carter, who was like one of my favorite Devils growing up. Like I still have his jersey, and he's like so awesome. He's so awesome. And I know that Isha's interviewed him, and I'm trying really hard to get him on the Devils pod, and it's not working. But I'm going to keep at it because I don't give up. I do not give up that easily.
Langenbrunner is another good one.
Langenbrunner is a good one. Dvorak is so sick. Wish he was traded to the Wild. I'm sorry. Hoppy, you wish everybody was traded to the Wild. Okay? Give me one player you wish wasn't traded to the Wild. Give me one. I want to see that in the comments. Isha also said, yes, check out Windy City Vendors podcast. Absolutely. Go check out those guys. They are the number one place to find all things Chicago Blackhawks. They do a fantastic job.
Appreciate it, guys.
And like I said, the research that Jerome does is better than Doc Emmerich. Like that's how good it is. That's how good his research is.
I love it.
Joe also says, I was also waiting to see 56 crank one from the point on the second power play unit. He almost did, but it hit the post. So what do you want?
Caleb needs to get healthy so he gets off that power play unit.
Mad Mike says, Giunta, really? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. I didn't come up with the question. CMOC says, I would have said Langenbrunner. No, that's a good, like Jerome said, that's a good pick as well. There's a lot of good picks. It's a shot there by Tyler Johnson is stopped, and then he gets leveled by Christian Jaros, and we get a stoppage in play with 11-12 to go here in the third. Devils still leading 3-1. Hoppy does answer my question by saying, any center not named Rask, we want traded to the Wild Boys, ... Okay, that's interesting. So would you have taken Rasmus Ristolainen with that, the way he plays the game? Would you have taken him in a trade? Would you have done that? I want to know. Just curious. CMOC says he's one of the most underrated centers in the league, so great at both ends.
Dvorak,
Is that about Dvorak, I think, or Langenbrunner? No, Langenbrunner was a winger, right? Yeah, I should know this.
Yeah, no, he's talking about Dvorak.
As a pass in front to Pavel Zacha, he did have an opening, but the stick got lifted by Gustafsson, and then a one-time shot by Nico is stopped by Kevin Lankinen, as Lankinen continuing to do all he can to keep the Hawks in this one. And I feel like, Jerome, that the Devils, if they could just get one more goal, especially in the next couple of minutes, they could really put this game on ice.
Yeah.
It's Dougie Hamilton with a shot that is smothered and covered by Kevin Lankinen. 10:39 to go in this game. Still 3-1 Devils.
Yeah,
you like my broadcasting style here, Jerome?
This is awesome. You are I'm glad that I'm delayed a little bit because now I get to experience what you're saying. You're painting the picture, and then I get to see it live a couple seconds later. I love it.
Well, thank you. I actually am a broadcaster for a junior hockey team up in North Jersey called the ProTech Junior Ducks. We are on Hockey TV. So if you You should subscribe to Hockey TV, which I think is like $30 a month, and you type in Protect Ducks. You can check out our broadcast, myself and my good partner, Jimmy Finizzi, on the call.
When does that get going for you guys?
I'm sorry?
When does that get going for you guys, or has it started yet?
Oh, it already started. We actually have a couple games next week. We have 2 games on the weekend next week, so I'll be excited to see that. As Janssen with a shot that was stopped by Lincoln and a cover here. Seamock also saying one of the best face-off guys in League 2. I think, again, he's talking about Christian Dvorak. Yeah, he's talking about Dvorak.
Yeah,
he confirmed that. Joe Cromo said, yes, thanks, Jerome, and WCB. No problem, man. Seamock saying DVL. Sodapod saying, Seamock, I know, only because he was hidden in the desert from the rest of the league. That is so true. And now he gets to go to Montreal as basically the replacement for Philip Deneau.
Yeah, essentially.
Is that basically what we're going for?
Yeah, I mean, they picked him up as soon as Deneau signed in LA, so.
Well, I thought they picked him up after the Kakiniemi nonsense.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Russell Mercer with a shot, and that one is stopped. And then a rebound try is stopped by Kevin Lankinen. It's Kevin Lankinen against the world right now as the Devils are coming on strong here, looking to put this one away. Is Mercer now with it, and he'll just have to dump it in. Sodapod saying, talk about Dvorak, he was a stud in London with the Knights too. From what I was told, he really was. Seamock, yep, he was on the line with Domi and Marner. Dang, that is a dangerous line right there. That is think about that. They were all on the same team at one point. That is impressive.
That's like the same up there, like McDavid, DeBrincat, and Strome were all on the same line too, and with the Otters.
Hockey TV network should be paying for Hockey TV. WTF? Yeah, I mean, it's only $30 a month, guys. I mean, it's not like you're paying a whole lot. I mean, granted, you're paying more for that than ESPN Plus, but I mean, it's all hockey based, not just not other things. But I can understand the pain there. CMOC Hockey Training, they were unreal together. Of course, won the Memorial Cup. How many did they win? Just one, right? Do you know that for a fact, Jerome, or no?
That I do not know. I couldn't tell you.
I think they won. I think they did win just one. CMOC also saying, just happy he's out of Arizona. I think Dvorak is happy he's out of Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he asked to be traded, but I'm sure he's definitely happy to be out.
Oh, I think everybody's of some skills happy to be out. I think Arizona or Kessel is going to be happy to be out of Arizona.
And a good interception by Hughes as Kirby Dach had to break it all alone in the slot, but Hughes was able to get a stick in there as the Devils just clear the puck down, and it's going to not be an icing as Lankinen had to touch the puck. As the Hawks, with 8:45 to go, dump it into the zone here, and time is running out here, Jerome, for the Hawks as they're trying to find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, if they
shots are 7-3 in favor of the Devils, by the way, in this period, as McLeod takes a shot, and that one is stopped by Lincoln, and a follow-up try is also stopped on a shot by Studenic, and now we get a stoppage in play as the net has dislodged with 8:27 to go in the third. Anyway, you were saying, Jerome,
if they don't get something going within 5 minutes, like with the 5 minute mark, they're in trouble. But this is a perfect example of what Lankinen is going to be able to do in this league when he becomes that guy, the guy, hopefully for the Hawks. But like he is just standing on his absolute head, giving this team the best chances to win this game and stay in here.
What I have noticed about Kevin Lankinen is that he doesn't immediately go down to his butterfly. He kind of I think he's more of a hybrid goaltender.
Yeah.
Like he likes to be big. He likes to come really far out beyond the crease, which is actually not that bad because he really takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, he likes to use his size a lot. And since we're talking about height earlier, let me pull that up really quick. Oh, yeah, him and Mark Andre are the same thing, 6'2", 185 pounds.
Joe Cromwell saying 5 and 6, the number one pair for the Hawks spinning their wheels again. Can't get it through the neutral zone. The $10 bajillion man is invisible. So already, Jerome, Hawks fans like Joe are freaking out.
Breathe, Joe. Breathe. Deep
it's
breath.
The second game of the season.
Second game. And the reason why when I asked Neil earlier if it helps that it's game one and he was upset and saying no, it doesn't help because he's in a much harder division than the Hawks are. Like
the Hawks. You know how like more confident I would be in the Devils if they played in a division like the Central. I'd be like, yeah, they have them. Even like hockey, right? Most analysts don't even have the Devils finishing in the top 5 in the division. They think they're going to finish 6th or 7th or 8th.
I felt so bad putting them at 7 because I want them to go higher. I couldn't
Jerome,
justify.
I like you, but 7th? That's
couldn't justify putting them higher. Like that's
right.
the only thing.
All
Like
right. No, I can understand it though. I can totally get it. I can totally get how I just personally feel like from the way that the general manager of the Devils, Tom Fitzgerald, spoke, that this team should be competing for a playoff spot this year. As we get a stoppage of play, as Tyler Johnson is kind of holding his nose. I think he might have gotten hit. I don't know if they called a penalty or anything like that. They might have, but they're going to go to commercial break with 7:11 to go in the third, and the Devils still up 3-1.
I feel like you guys fall into so really in the NHL right now, it's the 3 categories. You have the guys that are supposed to be there, the bubble guys, and then the guys that are just nowhere near it.
Right.
The Devils are definitely the bubble guys. Like they are like the amount of teams I think in this league that are like 1 to 3 years away from just being absolutely dominant and just gonna, go for deep playoff runs. It's unreal. And the Devils are doing all the right things. The thing I've noticed with the Devils too is like I feel like this conversation happens a lot. I feel like you guys have great off seasons, and then for some reason it just doesn't click.
Well, and that's simply because I would say this. Back 2 years ago, 1920. Was it 1920? Yeah, 1920. Not the year 1920, but the season 2019-2020. We were not a team that was ready to make that next step, but we were so desperate to try to please Taylor Hall and get back to the playoffs after 17-18 that we all just made those panic moves. We got PK Subban. We brought in Wayne Simmons. We brought in Nikita Gusev, because we were just hoping that these quick fixes could get us over the top, and we just were not ready. And I don't know if Devils fans agree with me, but I think getting to the playoffs in 17-18 was the worst thing that could have happened to us, because it made us believe that we were closer than we really were to being a competitive team. And then everything fell to garbage. And I'm going to stop myself because right now the refs are talking with Toronto and looking at something. Let's see what happens here. Okay, Mercer turned around and accidentally hit Tyler Johnson in the face. And I don't know if they're looking at potentially a 4-minute double minor, but this could be huge here if there is a 4-minute double minor. But
that is big.
To quickly finish up, I would say that, this year is different because I think that this was all calculated and it's all been prepared and we were ready to go and everything. And I think that, we spent a lot of money, but we still have like $13 million in cap space. We'll have 20 plus next year. We have a lot of things set in place where we can pay guys when they need to be paid. We're in a better position. The refs, again, just called a high sticking. I got to see, again, I have the TV muted for obvious reasons. I got to see what the reasoning was as to, not reason, but what they ended up doing here. Josh says, let's hit the 300 subs. Yeah, we're like right at almost at 300 subscribers. Guys, please get it. They did call a 4-minute double minor on Dawson Mercer. So for the next 4 minutes, the Hawks will be on a power play with 7 minutes to go in this game.
They gotta.
This is it. This is put up or shut up for the Hawks.
They need at least one here.
Kevin Weeks saying, by the way, Neil, love the Devils State of Mind podcast. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm trying
the best Devils podcast out there, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Jerome. We're approaching 1,000 followers on Twitter. If you guys could follow us on Twitter at Devils State, and also on Instagram as we're approaching 500 followers on there. We'd appreciate it, man. And also like and subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. We're almost at 300 subs. Oh, did we get the 300? I don't know if we did. Because Hoppy is saying 300. I'm not sure. But Patrick Kane with the puck now takes a shot. And that one is stopped by Bernier. And then Johnathan Toews basically runs over Johnathan Bernier and hits the net off its moorings. We'll get a stoppage in play here.
11 away. 11 more subscribers till 300. Let's go, guys.
We are so close. If we can get it would be great, guys, if we could get to 300 by the end of this game, by the end of this entire live watch along. Please do so. Let's get there. We're so close. We're so close. Mad Mike, high stick on Mercer, double minor. Thank you. He also says the net is dislodged. Appreciate it. I appreciate, by the way, some of you guys are able to give us some updates as well as we're trying to watch the game as well. And again, I'm watching it on television. Jerome's a little bit delayed, so a lot of the time Jerome already knows what happens before he actually sees it on television. So, but 3 minutes to go here on the Blackhawks double minor power play after a penalty from Dawson Mercer. 6 minutes to go here. Jerome, let me ask you, is it too early to pull the goaltender?
Yes. 6 minutes. Yeah. Way too early. I know what you're thinking with the power play, making it a 6-on-4.
I'm trying to be like Patrick Waugh, who just pulls the guy at like the 2-minute, like the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, just the way that the Hawks aren't able to contain the puck in the zone and the Devils are getting the puck out, it's not worth the risk, especially because
Dougie Hamilton shorthanded with a shot in the slot, and it was stopped on a shoulder save by Lankinen. Almost a disaster of a play there by the Hawks.
Yeah.
On the power play. They're struggling to just set it up. And as soon as I say that, they set it up. Why am I talking? Like, why am I talking? Like, every time Seth Jones with a shot and it's stopped by Bernier.
It's working though, because it's working for you guys. Like, you're talking Hughes, he scores. Johnson, he scores.
I will say this, by the way. Seth Jones, lot better game tonight.
Yeah, I
lot
agree.
Better game. And actually, Kevin Lankinen was pulled in that last sequence.
Wow.
So, but now he's going back to the net with 5:15 to go here in the third period. 2:05 to go here on the power play, on the double minor power penalty to Dawson Mercer. Joe Cromwell saying, LOL, I'm delayed too. And honestly, I kind of like it because you say what's going to happen and I can watch more carefully. No, that's a good point. You can continue to crap on Murphy. You've been able to analyze Murphy's play every goal. So I'm glad that I can provide that for you. And yes, the Hawks have pulled Kevin Lankinen. There is an empty net right now as a shot there by Bernier is stopped and held by Bernier. The shot wasn't by Bernier. The shot was by Patrick Kane, and it was saved by Johnathan Bernier.
That's weird. That's kind of a weird strategy, I guess.
It's a ballsy call. That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I guess so. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it early. Do it early in the season. Let them do it.
Well, right. It's early in the year. It's worth the shot, right? It's just worth the shot. If it doesn't work, okay, for future reference, we got to do it. By the way, Patrick Kane alone has 6 shots on goal, which should be no surprise. Seth Jones with the puck now. He takes a shot that's blocked. Dougie Hamilton with the block there, and then the Devils able to clear. What else we got here? Isha saying Patrick Waugh was nuts when he did that, trying to fight Boudreau on the bench and then pulling goalie 6 minutes left. Honestly, I loved when Patrick Waugh was a coach because he just did so many unethical things. It was hilarious. As a pass in front to DeBrincat was good job on a stick lift by Ryan Graves. As a shot there is kicked away by Johnathan Bernier. DeBrincat was open on the rebound, but he couldn't control, and the Devils are able to clear. 1:09 left to go on this power play. This 4-minute double minor against Dawson Mercer. Joe Cromwell saying Jones better, not great. No, I didn't say he was great. He's just a lot better than in the first game.
You guys are definitely stepping up. Stepping up when it matters right now for the Devils.
And then Joe also saying, oh, snap, almost gave up an empty netter. Yeah, the Devils are the worst team in the NHL when it comes to empty netters, so you have to worry about that. There's a shot there, and then a rebound, and they score. It's Kirby Dach with 42 seconds to go on the power play.
Dach is in, baby. Let's go.
And now I'm starting to panic as with 3:53 to go, the Devils' lead is now 1 after it was 2. So now, Devils fans, it's time to panic. So let's get – you know what? Why not? It's opening night. Let's just get it over with. It's good. I'm super negative. It's going to happen. Just freaking do it, man. Just piss me off the first game of the season. But, yeah, Kirby Dach standing on the left of Bernier. He just knocked in with his backhand. Fantasy-wise, that helps, obviously. So I'll be somewhat happy about that.
He's so good at those just garbage goals. Like the amount of I think his first NHL goal was just a poke into the net, like standing in that same area. It's so funny.
So for Kirby Dach, that was his first goal of the season. So obviously it's good for in just the second game for him to get that going. John Cooper made the same gutsy call Tuesday night. Yeah, and it didn't work out. So there you go. It worked out for the Hawks there as they score. So as Hughes making a nice pass to Kuokkanen, and that shot was blocked. Hoppy saying Doc, so there you go. Steven Durso saying F, yes, exactly. Steve, make sure you pre-type the word pain in just because of what's going to happen in the next couple minutes. I'm sure you know what's going to happen. Joe Cromwell, hey, better the guy I praised than the one I poop emoji'd on. So there you go. And then we got goal. Yes, exactly. We have a goal. So it's now 3-2, 2:48 to go. The question is now, when do the Hawks pull Lincoln in again to try to get the man advantage? And I promise you, Jerome, as I'm sitting here, the Devils will not score an empty net goal. I promise you, because they don't know how to. They haven't done it in like over a year.
What time do you have on the scoreboard?
2:30 right now.
You get good control in the zone, you pull him.
Steve Darso saying he's already on it. Good. Make sure that's ready and up and ready to go. It's Dougie Hamilton with the puck now, as he'll fire it in, and once again, and Michael McLeod now taking it in. Here it comes, and a shot by Studenic is stopped, and a rebound try knocked up off the air from VC is stopped. By the way, the goal by Kirby Dach was assisted by Tyler Johnson and Patrick Kane. So there you go. So both of those guys, I believe all of those guys, that's their first point of the year. Is now Kevin Lankinen has been pulled at the 2-minute mark, as now the Hawks will look to try to see if they can tie it here. Seth Jones now with the puck, gives over to Patty Kane. Pat, don't do it to me, Kane. As that shot is stopped by Jonathan Bernier, as Kane once again regains the puck at the far side, gives over to Seth Jones at the top of the blue line. Jones, give it over to Kubalik, fakes the shot, gets over to Seth Jones with a one-time shot, and that one goes wide. And the Devils are struggling, but now, as a diving play by Studenic is able to force the puck out of the zone, and the Hawks have to regroup, but they get it literally 2 seconds later into the zone. But what does it matter? So what did that clear do? As now, Patrick Kane over to Seth Jones.
I want him to get this goal.
Kane now with it. Takes a slap shot, and that one is blocked. But the Devils still can't clear it. Now they're finally able to get it out. Jack Hughes trying to control it as he fires it down, but the shot is blocked. 54 seconds to go here. A long pass to DeBrincat. Passed it over, and that pass was intercepted, and the Hawks have to regroup. 45 seconds to go here. And I am definitely panicking right now. I'm like almost waiting for it to happen. PK Subban around the boards, can't get it out. Devils still just trying to get it out. Tyler Johnson with a shot. That one is blocked as Jonas Siegenthaler pokes it down. Brad trying to get it out. Hawks get it. Rebound try, and they score. It's Dominic Kubalik with 25 damn seconds to go. And the Hawks down 3-1 have tied the game at 3. And I just, oh my God! I told you that was going to happen.
Let's go.
Why? What? Can we just have one time where we don't have a 2-3 goal lead and cough it up?
Oh, let's go. Kubalik coming up.
I need more wine. I need more wine. I'm pissed. I am so pissed.
Oh, that was beautiful, too.
No, it wasn't. It was garbage defense.
Oh, my God.
No, I don't care.
Moves. Let's go.
Pain, yes. What a lose. Thank you, Hoppy. Appreciate it. Well, we all know how this ends. Yeah, we do. Sorry, man. No, don't give me this. Yeah, sure, Isha. That's the way to describe it.
Let's just appreciate Hagel's patience.
No, let's not appreciate anything.
Not throwing it on net, finding Coob's back door. Let's go. Oh, man. And the little celly he gave, too. The little bow to Hagel. Oh, man. Let's go. This is what this team has got to be doing from the get-go.
Well, so I think that, what was that just, is that the end of the period? I just missed it. I'm so mad I haven't even looked. But yeah, so there you go. It's the end of 3. The Hawks have gotten their first point. The Devils got their first point, and now we go to overtime.
Yeah, what did I say? Do not count the Hawks out yet. There was way too much time. Come on.
Hoppy was calling Isha a loser. That's nice. And then Cromwell's like, I just pooped on Jones. He's played the last 5 or 6 minutes straight. Q being, did he get an assist? I don't know. I really don't know. And Isha's saying, I spoke too soon, Jerome. Ha ha ha. Well, Steve Durso giving a prediction. Devils blow the lead and go to overtime. Hockey New Jersey is truly back. Yes, it is. Can you believe this? Are you even surprised?
I'm not surprised.
No, you're not surprised. No, by the way, my old man, Papa Villapiano, as Isha calls him, just came in the room and gave me some more wine because I am pissed.
Oh, man.
I am, and Jerome called it. Yep, he did. We give him that.
Let's go.
So now
Man.
the Devils have to get their head out of their you-know-whats and try to find a way to still win this game after having a 2-goal lead in the third period.
The Hawks got a point. Let's go get the second one and call it a day.
I don't understand. Did I not call it? Did I not say, like, let's not get excited having a 2-goal lead with 11 minutes to go in the third period? Did I not say? Gee, I wonder why I said that. Oh, wait, because I've seen this movie 100 times and it doesn't get better. Papa Villapiano is a legend. Yeah, he is. He's everybody's favorite Ginzo. This is what he calls himself, by the way. This is not a and then Joe Cromwell saying, have someone bring you alcohol as boss. Yes, well, my father is very kind to me, especially during these games. He's very sensitive, even though if he was on here with me, he'd be saying the exact same things I'm saying. So now the Devils and Hawks, the overtime period has just started, skating 3 aside. Yes, thank you for quoting Taylor Swift. Yes, we've seen this story before. All right, so Patrick Kane coming down takes a shot, and that one is blocked. Kirby Dach on a rebound, and now a possible 2-on-1 opportunity here if they hurry. It's Hughes and Pavel Zacha coming down. Jack Hughes making a move, waits, backhand, and he scores! Jack Hughes in overtime, and the Devils have salvaged this game despite blowing a 2-goal lead, and they win their home opener. And
Good
Jack
call.
Hughes with a 2-goal game. Woo!
Agree.
For the love of God, this might actually be a different season because we still found a way to win. Holy moly. And I'm sorry, Jack, you lost. Sorry. You lost money, I think. Maybe. He said Hawks money line. Did he win?
No, he lost.
Okay. So, Mad Mike, Devils win. Steve Durso. If I can show it here. Hughes. And then Mad Mike Hughes, hey, suck. And then Sodapot, rest in peace, Jack. Okay. So, yeah, despite having a 2-goal lead in the third period and blowing it, the Devils still found a way. It was a great move by Jack Hughes. He waited and waited, got Lankinen out of position, went from his forehand to his backhand, open net, and just tapped it in.
That was great patience by Hughes for sure. That
Kevin
was
Weeks saying Hughes.
Terrible move by, what was that, Dach?
Absolutely.
In front there when nobody's home.
Yes.
Kane tried to throw it to Dach, and Dach just went too low.
So, Jerome, for the most part, you experience what it's like to watch this damn team every game. We blow so many leads, and the only difference is that we didn't lose the game. Granted, the Hawks still got a point, and I mean, it doesn't really affect anything because the Hawks are in the Western Conference. But just the fact the Devils were able to win their home opener, and Jack Hughes getting a 2-goal game, and despite all of this crap in the third period playing conservative, the Devils still found a way to win, and that is big. And 4-3. 4-3. I
called it. You guys called it.
I didn't say overtime. Granted, Jerome said overtime.
Yeah.
But he had the Hawks, what do you say, 3-2, right?
I said 3-2 overtime.
3-2. So the Devils winning their home opener. They got the first point and were able to secure the second point. And
that is a great question brought up in my friends group chat. Why are you throwing Gus out there in overtime? That's a great question. Terrible. That was a bad move.
Sodapod saying, what a stream, poor Jerome, what a roller coaster. Wild fans are and empathize.
Don't try to be friends. You gotta have this round.
No, that's fighting words right there. They're actually showing the 3 stars of the game. So we'll see in just a second who they are. Joe Cromwell saying he destroyed Gus and Lank. Yeah, I mean, he single-handedly deked out 2 guys.
That was, I mean, early goal of the year candidate right there.
Holy crap. And then Joe Groen then throws a stick into the crowd. Yeah, because he's a savage. I forgot to mention that. After he scored, he just chucked his stick into the stands. He was just like, screw it, I don't need this anymore.
That's fun hockey. See, that I can get behind.
Whoever caught that, like, keep that. Don't sell it. Don't do nothing. Keep that stick.
That was a good game. Fun game. Fun hockey.
Dude,
I mean, it was ugly.
Talking about first game of the season, obviously for the Devils' perspective, and as a hockey fan, that was a great game back and forth.
That's what you want. Yeah.
So the third star of the game is one of the new guys, Dougie Hamilton. First goal of the season. He also took a penalty. Dougie Hamilton with a big smile on his face. I've learned, by the way, he's a pretty quiet guy off the ice. He doesn't do a lot of talking, that's for sure. Yeah. Very quiet individual. Second star of the game is Jack Hughes with 2 goals. Or actually, no, I think they gave the third star to someone on the Hawks. Second star of the game was Dougie Hamilton. And the first star of the game with 2 goals and the game winner, Jack with a huge set of lettuce, Hughes. So there you go. So the Devils with a 4-3 victory on home ice to open up the season. This is the first of a 5-game homestand to open up the season. Their next game will be against the Seattle Kraken next Tuesday. Jerome, what is the next Blackhawks game?
I believe it's tomorrow against Pittsburgh. So Mark Andre is going to draw back into the lineup. So that's
okay. So that's an automatic win for the Hawks. I mean, because they're going to come at it. They're going to go into tomorrow's game pissed off that they didn't win this one after coming back from down 3-1.
They should have.
This is not Lankinen's fault. I do not blame Lankinen for this game.
No.
Did he get beat on that play? Yes, but that was a hell of a play by Jack Hughes.
That's the problem. I mean, that's the problem with his playing style. He's an aggressive goalie, and he came out, and Jack Hughes was just more patient.
Steve Durso saying, love the Hughes Selly. I hope he does that like every game. That would be just they'll definitely run out of sticks.
He's got to be careful. They're running out of sticks in New Jersey. So
they flashed to the bench, and I believe Seth Jones made the point why 56 was on the ice too. That's a good point. The group chat when WCB and SodaPod stream is going to be explicit to put on screen. Ha ha ha. Crazy wild Hawks fans going at it. Yeah, I mean, that should be a lot of fun. Isha's saying Dougie is quiet and loves art. Dude, he's the biggest art fanatic I've ever heard. Like, I heard him on the Devils podcast, and he was talking about how much he loves just going to art museums. And I'm like, this is such a dad, and I love this guy. Like, he's such an interesting person. Erud's Idis, 84. I apologize if I said it incorrectly. Jack Hughes with the heart emojis. Yes, everybody loves themselves. Jack Hughes doing well. Matt might confirm. Third star is Kirby Dach. Second star is Dougie Hamilton, and first star is Jack Hughes. He also said, I wouldn't trade Jack Hughes for anybody, not even McDavid or Ovechkin. Nope, wouldn't touch. Nope, don't want either one of them.
You guys,
I'll stick with Jack Hughes and die.
St. Louis Cardinal fans, aren't you? Talking about you wouldn't trade Yadier Molina for Mike Trout. Oh,
yeah, they would do that though.
It's so funny.
They would do it. Don't lie, they would totally do it.
That's the whole thing with St. Louis Cardinal Twitter. Would you trade Yadier Molina for so and so? No, Yadier Molina owns so much more. No, he doesn't. He's terrible. Okay, sorry. Baseball rant. Whatever.
I can't believe, by the way, that the Cardinals fired Schilt, their manager. Like I said, I was like, for philosophical reasons, we're like, what happened to the Cardinal way?
Yeah, that was.
I guess that's not the Cardinal way anymore. But again, that's baseball. Gus sits tomorrow. Well, we'll see.
100%. No, still.
He might sit tomorrow because of that. I'm sure Colleton will look at that play and go like, yeah, you're not playing tomorrow.
Ian Mitchell, I think, draws back in the lineup tomorrow for sure.
And he says Jones was so pissed. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I would be too. Right. Why are you putting Gus out there?
That's a good point. So before we wrap this up, this stream, which is now just over 3 hours long, which I'm not surprised, and I'm amazed I still have a voice, especially over the last 45 minutes. Jerome, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts after this game?
A lot of good, a lot of bad. This team needs to learn how to play a full 60 minutes. They have that second period was good. Cards have a anyway, though they did good that second period. Then the third period was just absolute terrible again, and they left a quick 2 goals. But showing nice grit, fighting back into it, getting this tied up. You can't be mad with the way overtime played out, because Hughes just made an absolutely fantastic move. So, I mean, after Wednesday, I'll take it. That's all I can say, really.
I mean, it's certainly an improvement. At least you got a point. That's, and you came back from down 2 goals in the third period to force overtime. So
early in the season, you just want to get points as many times as you can, and you know what, taking 1 point's perfect.
And obviously you want to win, but it's gonna be tough. Joe Cromwell saying Cards have to have a former player manager. They'll get Aaron Boone, because the Yankees should really not bring back Aaron Boone. But again, we're not talking baseball. We can talk about baseball one day on one. If Jerome and I do another stream, which we definitely will do again, we'll talk more baseball. We'll do a baseball segment during one of the intermissions. He also says, this was fun, guys. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for, I think he's one of the guys that stuck around like the whole time. So thank you so much.
You are a beauty. I really enjoyed hearing you.
Yeah, Joe, do you want to follow, make sure to follow us on social media as well. Would love to talk more with you, man. You were absolutely a pleasure to talk to. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody. Again, my boy, Steve Durso. Fun stream night, y'all. Going to get my voice ready since I'm probably on the Capo stand for the New York Derby on Sunday. He's talking soccer. The New York Red Bulls take on NYCFC at Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey tomorrow. So just remember that New York is red, or New Jersey is red if you want to, either one. Obviously, the Chicago Fire, which is the team that's based where Jerome is, they had another rebrand for like the 60th time in the last several years, and finally it doesn't look horrible. That's just my personal opinion. Jerome, are you a soccer guy or not really?
I've never really followed it, so yeah.
No worries.
I'll take your word for it.
No worries, man. No, Steve's like the best person when it comes to soccer. At SDurso5 on Twitter, in case anyone wants to go. He's just saying, great stream, boys. Like and subscribe, everyone. Yes, thank you so much. Also, Joe Cromwell saying Red Bulls fan. So, here we go. Now we're gonna get soccer talk in the comments. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for the last 3 hours jumping on with myself and also Zach, Jerome. This was so much fun. It's the first game of the season for the Devils, second one of the year for the Hawks. This was a great game, other than the fact the Devils blew a 2-goal lead. But I'll talk about that on the next episode of the Devil State of Mind podcast, which will come up this upcoming Monday. So don't worry about that. But before we go, first of all, they just got the Cubs logo. Yeah, probably, Joe. It looks similar. We talk about the Chicago Fire, and also saying Isha is a Whitecaps fan. That's great. Good for Isha. But Jerome, before we sign off, man, tell the folks at home where they can find you, where they can find the podcast, and anything you got going up, man. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, so make sure to follow. I'm much more active on the podcast social media than myself. So follow the @WCB podcast on Instagram, Twitter. Like us on Facebook, the When You See Better podcast. We're on all major podcast apps and sites, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever Google's doing nowadays. The Hockey Podcast Network, check them out on their website. You can find links to all their stuff on there as well. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Hockey Podcast Network. And if you want to subscribe to our episode, we post our full episodes with video. Go there. I mean, leave comments there, We loved fan interaction, love getting fan questions. So definitely go check our YouTube out, leave some comments there so we can get going. And give some draft ideas. We'd like to do top 5 drafts. So we need some new ones. So let's go. Hit us up.
Joe Cromwell saying WCB Insta is great. Awesome, man. Great. Well, you can follow myself at the Devil State of Mind podcast, at Devil State on Twitter, on Instagram at Devil State of Mind, and also like and subscribe to us on our Facebook page. We post new episodes every Monday and Thursday talking all things New Jersey Devils. You can follow me on my personal Twitter at THENVPSHOW and on Instagram at NVPQB11. Make sure to go check out those books that I showed earlier. JETS Pain, Meet the Mets Mess, and also Maple Leafs to Maple Laps. And like Jerome said, make sure to like and subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network, THPN YouTube channel. We're almost at 300 subscribers, so let's try to get to that before our next live watch along. That would be great. And make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss any new videos and new streams that we post here on here. Also, make sure to follow at HockeyPodNet on all social media platforms. So, with that being said, for myself, Neil Villapiano, for Zach Jerome of the WCB podcast, We thank you guys so much for tuning in to this live watch along, and we will see you in the next one. Everyone continue to be safe. Enjoy yourself. And guess what? Hockey is back, baby. We got a lot more coming. We have a lot more coming.